Hello, amazing people, and happy Sunday. I hope everybody had a great and a blessed day. This is kind of a pop-up show because of all the response that I got from my video that I put up maybe like 2 hours ago. So I wanted to come and I wanted to be very specific and give some context, and not only give some context, but allow other people to give some context as well. A lot of people did not agree with my video, and that's fine. Um, but my video stands how it stands. That's how I feel. I feel like that's how things should be. With men and with women, not just women, men too. I feel like it goes both ways. So I'm gonna play the video so the people that didn't get to see the video, you can see what I'm talking about. Hello.
Disclaimer, this has nothing to do with my children. This has nothing to do with my mother. They're not even these type of people, but I need to come and teach. My mother, my children, or my family cannot come and disrespect my man or my husband. Absolutely not. That's who God blessed me with. So guess what? I'm going to appreciate that blessing. I'm going to respect that blessing. I'm going to protect that blessing. And I'm going to love that blessing, baby. I'm not disappointing God. I'm not going to show God that I'm careless when it comes to what and who he blesses me with. So no, I'm not going to let anybody mistreat or disrespect who God blessed me with. You understand that? Stop letting people come and project their misery and their unhappiness on you. I don't care who they are. I'm not about to disrespect what God blessed me with for my mom, my dad, my children, my family, or my friends, baby. I'm not doing that. I said what I said. And my name is Shalakemia.
So that's the video that a lot of people were messaging me about. A lot of people had things to say. There was one guy in particular in the comments that said something. I did invite him on. I just let him know I was on if he wanted to come on here. And he wanted to quote the scripture, honor thy father with all thy heart and remember thy mother in her sorrows. That particular scripture, I'm going to be very honest right now, that scripture has nothing to do with what I said. And that's a lot of what happens on social media and content. People try to apply things that have nothing to do with what the person said. Honoring I believe in that scripture, honoring your mother and your father. I definitely believe in that scripture, but that has nothing to do with me as an individual. When God blesses me with a man or blesses me with a husband, that has nothing to do with me accepting that my children or my mother or my family is disrespectful to him. Those are two different things. That's what I wanted to address. Another thing, this is a conversation, that we rarely have. Like it's forbidden, but it's a conversation that needs to be had. There was somebody else in the comments that said I had just explained this to my sister about our mother. Don't allow our mother to sit up and ruin your relationship. Be happy. This is something we don't talk about. We don't talk about how mothers are miserable. We don't talk about how mother-in-laws are miserable. We don't talk about how families miserable. We just don't talk about these different things, how they're unhappy and how they try to come to the table, and because they're unhappy, they want you to be unhappy, and they don't know how to be happy for you. Do I respect my parents? Absolutely. But let me tell you something. I'm an individual, and whatever black man that God blesses me with, that's my blessing. That don't have nothing to do with my parents and my children and my family. If I'm not being abused, if I'm not being mistreated, that don't have nothing to do with them. People, let me tell you something. Family, parents, Children, siblings, they get jealous and envious too when you have somebody good in your life. You ain't gonna get that twisted. But like I said, that's something we don't come to the table, and we don't talk about that. But people are envious and people are jealous because they don't have that. Well, I mean, we could sit around, we could talk about the mothers and the mother-in-laws that don't got no man, that hate black men, and they sit up there and they project that on their daughter and they project that on their son because they are miserable. They don't want to see their children happy because they're miserable, because they don't got nobody. Those are the conversations that we don't have. And guess what? When we don't have those conversations, there's no accountability. All I'm saying is, me as a person, I'm not allowing anybody to come and to mess up my blessing. That's what God blessed me with. And it just don't even really go for just my man or my husband, when I get one. It's overall. Why would we sit up and disrespect what God blessed us with? For what? For our family, for our parents, for our children? We're going to be accountable for that. That's all I'm coming to the table saying. We are going to be accountable for that. So the person that said in the comments, he said, honor your mother and your father. And what that means, it meant what I thought it meant, but I wanted to look it up to make sure it meant what I was thinking. And it says honor your mother and your father specifically means prize highly, care for, show respect for authority in our lives. um when we are young, we rely on our parents for a lot of different things. And I always want to, encourage that to, definitely respect, your mom and your dad. I'm very big on things like that. And I'm gonna get to, the other portion in a minute when it comes to children. I'm gonna also open up the phone lines so y'all be able to call in and weigh in on this too. But what I want to say is I can respect my mother and my father, but I'm not going to sit up here and let them disrespect who I'm with, because I'm not going to do that, because I'm an individual, and God, sees that I'm worthy, and I'm ready for a good man, and I'm supposed to protect him like he's supposed to protect me. You understand that? I don't sit up and allow my family and anybody else, my mom, my children, to attack and disrespect and mistreat my blessing. Absolutely not. That's not what's about to happen. We also don't talk about how, people allow their children to disrespect who they're in a relationship with. Children are children. They're not grown. Even if they were grown, they're not supposed to do that. But it's about respect. And we just don't have these conversations. Like, they're so forbidden. Like, I can't sit up here. Listen, for example, like I said, my children are not like this because my children are not disrespectful. They're not disrespectful to, someone I'm in a relationship with. I've really never had that issue. My mom is not that way either. If I'm in a relationship with somebody, I love them. My mom love them. You see what I'm saying? But I never had nothing where she was like disrespectful to who I was in a relationship with. You see what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't never like that. But I was speaking from that because it was time to have that type of conversation. But if my mom was like that, I have to go ahead and let my mom know. At the end of the day, mom, this is my man. This is my husband. You cannot disrespect him. You cannot mistreat him. You cannot handle him like that. You can't do that. I love you, but mom, this is who God blessed me with. And I'm going to protect, just like I want protection from my man, I'm going to protect him too. From anybody, though. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna protect him too. I can't just expect for him to protect me in those type of situations and I not protect him. Yeah, I still love my mom. I ain't got to go and be disrespectful to her and all that, but I do have to set that boundary because this is my man. This is my husband. I have to set that boundary. A lot of people don't set those boundaries. They don't set those boundaries. They don't set those boundaries. And let me tell you something, it's dangerous because let me tell you something. If God blesses you with somebody and you can't be obedient to God when it comes to them, why should God bless you with anybody else that's good? Why should God put anybody else in your life and you are going to allow harm and mistreatment to come to this person? I'm sorry, I'm not willing to do that. I'm just not willing to do that. My relationship with God is very important. I want God to know that He can trust me. with blessings, opportunities to be in rooms. You see what I'm saying? What I'm praying for, it's like you might as well not sit up here and pray to God and ask God for things if He's going to give it to you, and you're not going to respect it, you're not going to honor it, you're not going to appreciate it. And that's what our this world is. We so laxed. We so relaxed in this world and feel like I don't gotta appreciate this person. I don't gotta do this. I don't gotta do that. But you do. But you really do, because when you allow someone to disrespect your man, your woman, your wife, your husband, you are disrespecting God. They are disrespecting God. And I don't think that's what people fully understand. That's why we have to have more of these conversations. Taisha, my husband and I are as one, and what upsets one of us upsets both of us. Absolutely. 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 I agree with that. I agree with that. I'm opening up the phone lines for anybody that wants to call in and share. If you want to add on, we need these type of conversations. Sorry, I forgot I had the other thing on. We need these type of conversations in these type of spaces. I'm gonna tell you something. I really want to have this conversation because I don't want someone to lose the person they're in a relationship with. I don't want somebody's marriage to end because you are not setting boundaries. I don't want that. If I could come and I could speak on something and I can save somebody's marriage, I could save somebody's relationship, I could come and teach somebody something before disaster comes, like that's what I want to come and do. That's what has been in my spirit for the last couple days. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, God, I got this. And He's like, okay, well, share it, because there's people out there that allow things like this to happen. And God's not happy, because let me tell you something. God is not sitting up here and blessing you with someone for you to mistreat them, or you to allow other people to mistreat them. Absolutely not. God will move that person. He will move that person, and He will bless somebody else with that person. You see what I'm saying? So I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. Let me put the phone line up here for anybody that want to call in. Because I'm sure y'all got some stories. People been inboxing me. You don't have to call in and say your name or nothing like that. But we definitely need to have these conversations in these type of spaces. Allowing children to disrespect who you with. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And people might not even think on this type of level, but you're not supposed to allow those type of things to happen. You're just not. You're just not. People are blessings too. You can't, I mean, money's just not a blessing. A house and a car. People are blessings too. The value that come with people are blessings. And I think a lot of people take that for granted and they don't realize that. You see what I'm saying? I'm not willing to allow anybody to come and disturb my peace, my happiness when it comes to, my family. And I'm going to tell you this. A lot of people that allow their parents, their children, their family to do things like that, let me tell you something. They wouldn't allow you to come in their relationship or their marriage and do that. They wouldn't allow you to come in their house and do that. So why would you allow it? So why would you allow it? Why aren't y'all on my phone line? Why aren't y'all on my phone line? That's the number. That's the number right there. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Exactly, Taisha. They wouldn't allow that. They wouldn't allow that. But I stand firm. I stand firm on what I said. Because I said what I said. I'm not allowing that. And I'm gonna tell you something. People that do allow that, the people, the kids know they can get away with that. The parents know they could get away with that. Because to be honest with you, the kids and the parents and the family is looking at that person like they're weak. That's what they looking at, like they weak. And they know they could come in and they could say what they want, do what they want, because you ain't gonna say nothing. Babe, not me, baby. I'ma say something. I'ma say something. You ain't gonna come in and disrupt what I got going on. I'm not doing that. I'm responsible for what God blesses me with. Not it don't got nothing to do with my parents, my children, my family, friends, nobody. That's what God blessed me personally with. God said, I'm trusting you with this man. Not I'm trusting your mom, not I'm trusting your dad, not I'm trusting your children. Because listen, ain't nobody got the answer but me. I'm the only one that got the answer to God. They gonna answer to God because they was wrong. They was wrong for the way they acted, but I have to answer. I have to answer. Why did I allow that to happen? I gotta answer to God for that. I'm not going against God. I'm not answering God because I sat up and I let people handle my blessing any kind of way. Absolutely not. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. No, no, no. Thank you. Taisha said, I will say this nicely at the beginning, but I don't like to repeat myself. The next discussion will never be nice. And Taisha, I'm right there with you. Oh, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you, sis. It ain't gonna be nice. Let me tell you something. Play with me, you might never hear from me again. And that goes for whoever. Oh, that goes for whoever. I'm not going against God for nobody. I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm doing so good. I'm doing good. I'm really waiting on the guy that called in that said um basically I was wrong and you supposed to honor your mother and your father, which that don't have nothing to do with anything I said. But you see how people try to make, they try to like include and insert how they feel into this. That has nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with it. I don't know who this message was for. I just know I was supposed to share because it can encourage, other women. It can encourage, other men. But you have to set boundaries. You can't. I think what it might be sometimes too is that because people feel like, oh, that's my parent or oh, that's my child. God's not trying to hear that's your parent or your child. I'm just coming to be real. Pray about it. Pray about it. Pray about it and ask God, is it okay for him to bless you with somebody and you allow people to mistreat them? It doesn't matter if it's a child. It don't matter. Hold on, let me make sure this phone line is open because ain't nobody go. Hold up. Let's make sure this is working. Cause ain't nobody called. Hold on. Okay. Just want to make sure it was up and running. But God's not trying to hear that. And I'm just being real. This is a wake up call for a lot of people. God's not trying to hear that at all. Like, oh, that's my child and my child come first. And no ma'am. No sir. No ma'am, no sir. No, no, no. You can still be a loving parent and still set boundaries and teach your children respect, especially when you have these men that are coming in the household and they're caring for children that are not theirs, they're providing for children that are not theirs. They are the head of the household. He deserves respect, period, point blank. Respect, appreciation in his own home. In his own home. It's too much disrespect in these homes from kids. When did kids start running households? When did kids start making decisions? When? Baby, not my grandmom's house. Not my grandpa's house. Kids did what? Kids told you they was gonna do what? What kids say that ain't my dad? Excuse you? I don't tolerate that. I never did. I never did. I never did. Never tolerated that. This might be your dad, baby, but you gonna respect him. You gonna respect him. This man is providing for this household. This man is helping me keep a roof over your head, baby. You ain't about to disrespect him. It's too many situations where, and I'm gonna say with mothers are allowing their children to run the household. They don't even have no control over the household. They're letting the children run the household. And I'm gonna be real. I don't know what this is for. Ain't no man standing for that. I'm gonna just be real with you. Ain't no man standing for. Ain't no man coming in no house providing, helping pay bills, and being with a woman where the children run the house, where the children don't ain't got no respect for you, cussing you out, cussing around you, all that. No, no, that's not even how a house is supposed to be at all. I wish my kids would, baby, and they're grown. I wish they would play in my house like that. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, caller. How are you?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
I'm good. You want to weigh in on what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've had issues in my relationship with opinionated sources from a lot of people. So
Mm-hmm.
for me personally, it's been daunting and stressful for me. And it's been a way on my relationship with my wife for quite some time. I've gone out of my way to purchase a home to solidify a foundation for the future of my children. But for some reason, everything that I do is always allocated to my past. So they use my past against me. And I have other people who aren't happy with my known shortcomings.
I mean, how does it affect them?
It's quite stressful for me because at times it causes a very hard strain on our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So for me and my wife, recently we've walked into a couple loud altercations that became semi-physical. Um, and I'm ashamed to say, recently I was arrested for a situation between me and my wife. We weren't meeting eye to eye because I refused to spend time with her family on a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And the family doesn't respect me. So I've learned over the years that nobody's going to respect you or hold into any account of anything you've done for the person. And all they have to say is negative acclamations about you. The best thing to do is just remove yourself from that circle.
Right. You don't have to go
And
around them and no, you don't have to go around them and they don't even respect you. You don't have to go around anybody and they don't respect you. But her as a woman, why wouldn't first of all, she should have checked the situation. But why sit up and feel some type of way again about towards you because you don't want to be in that type of environment? You don't gotta be in that environment.
I agree. Um, she said that I'm controlling because I'm refusing to, I would say, conform to her standards when it comes to situations such as that. She pictures me being able to be in a perfect situation with her family members, but it hasn't been positive. So for me, we come from two different upbringings,
Mm-hmm.
um, and for me, like, I've had some rough patches in my life, but I've been able to pick myself back up.
Mm-hmm.
And my most recent rough patch, she has been a pillar to me. But the only thing that actually went wrong in our relationship was that when COVID became stringent for a lot of people here,
Mm-hmm.
all over the world, and everything was shut down in New York, California, and various other locations, what ended up happening was I decided to pick up from California and I moved to Texas. So when
Mm-hmm.
we moved to Texas, my first idea was to buy a home, and she wanted to live in an apartment. She wanted to actually downgrade to something lower, keep it
Mm-hmm.
cheap, fall in a low end circle. There's nothing wrong with doing it if you can't afford it, but to take advantage of the system, I told her I'm not a fan of doing that. So I had enough capital, and I told her I'm going to buy a home.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to present it to her family, and they pretty much met me with negative responses. They said it was negative responses. They said it was next to impossible for me to buy a home in Texas because I would need at least like 5 or 10 years of some type of collateral to prove that not only am I a part of the community, but also I'm a citizen um, and the state. I'm like, this is in a different country. I know a lot of states they have different laws. When you go to a different state, it's like going to a different country. But and the long or short end of that part of the conversation, I told her I'm a very determined person. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to find something. So lo and behold, I found a home. I purchased it. I'll be honest, the first home was terrible. It was beyond out of a fixer-upper, and the person who sold me the home sold me a lemon. Thank God I had legal responses to help out in the end, and I ended up taking this person to court, but he settled, so he returned the money, and I took that money for the money that I was already making
Mm-hmm.
to purchase the home that I have now. So for her family, it's just like whenever I do anything, it's not satisfactory to them.
So
It comes down
let
to what you
me
said earlier. It comes down to a miserable person. Her mother has like 7 or 8 kids, I think 9, and different fathers, and her background, my wife's background is like it's very traumatic, it's very bad, and there's a lot of like mixed history that I don't feel comfortable with. And we have 2 children. So for me, I told her that I really don't feel comfortable with my children being around your mother concerning her history. And my wife's like, what about your history? It's like, well, my history, I have evidence proving that my history is good and I'm fighting my case actively. So that upset her deeply. And it's like she's trying to look for some type of semblance or some type of admiration from her mother. And for me, I was a foster kid, so it's not my job to go out of my way to make people happy. It's my job to go get things done. I would consider myself more of a doer because if there's something that needs to be done, I will go out and go do it instead of just holding my hands together.
Let me stop you. Let me stop you right there. Let me stop you. Now, when you said that you were going to buy the house and you presented it to her family, why did you present it to her family?
Oh, I did it as a kind of like a act of showing them that, not saying like, hey, I'm better than you. It was more of an act of me showing them that, hey, we're doing really good. I just want to be able to show you that we're doing something great.
That's your problem. 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 You don't, what, they don't got nothing to do with it. They don't got no say. They ain't about to help you put the money on the house. They ain't about to pay no mortgage payment. You don't got to show them nothing. You don't have nothing to prove to them. Not one thing. That's the problem. But I feel like in a way she has made you feel like you have something to prove to her family. I feel like her family made you feel like you don't have nothing to prove. You are who you are. At the end of the day, like I said, they're not helping you pay a bill in that house. So they shouldn't have a say in the house.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where, see, a lot of men, they'll sit up and they will try to please a woman. And I feel like that should be, to a certain extent. I don't have to sit up here and please your family. I don't have to impress your family. Your family shouldn't be, all in our business. You see what I'm saying? Like, no. Why put that pressure on a man like that? Absolutely not. I'm not going to expect for my man to sit up here and bend over backwards for my family. I'm not going to expect that. That's just not how it goes. But we be in so many toxic relationships and situations and family ships and stuff that it's like we don't know what's the right thing to do and we don't know what's the wrong thing to do. But it's like you have to be real with you. You don't owe them nothing. That's your marriage. That's your house. The decision is between y'all two, not y'all two and her family. That's where a lot of people go wrong. And you don't have to be around them. If they sitting up there doing that, you don't have to be around them. But I'm gonna tell you something from a real woman. If they treated my man or my husband like that, I don't even want to be around them. Period. And I said what I said. I don't even want to be around them.
Well, my wife, she just, it's her family, so she chooses to be there. That's what she feels comfortable at. That's where she wants to be. When it comes to her friends and her family, she takes their advice. She doesn't take mine. It makes me feel uncomfortable. Sometimes I feel talking to a wall whenever it comes to our relationship. But I see my children, and I try to go out of my way to make sure that my family's in a good place. And I do I'll take things and I'll break them down into like the importance of something and the non-importance of something. So for her, I think sometimes that makes her feel uncomfortable. And the reason why I say that is because when it comes to everything as a whole, I'll choose that over just being selfish towards myself. Like I have a thing that I do, a menagerie thing that I do. Like one of my biggest hobbies is that I'm kind of a tinkerer. I come from an engineering background, and I kind of went another direction. I still have my hobbies when it comes to engineering, and that's kind of one of the big things that she finds like not really problematic, but like pseudo interesting. Like if a car was to break down on the side of the road, I would know how to pick it apart and throw it back together and get it running. The
Okay.
same thing goes for our home as well. So I think these are important things to have instead of just being at the wayside where you're helpless and you have to pay a person X amount of dollars to repair an issue. Like
Right.
a couple days ago, I tore down my entire washer and I rebuilt it.
Wow.
And for her, she thought it was crazy that I was doing that, but I did that. And because I'm not going to spend money on things. And the way her family's raised, it's like, if you have a problem, just waste money on it. Not throw money at it, it's waste money on it. I would have to say, when it comes to the upbringing from a person from even a foster kid and another person being with kind of a divided family, kind of in the inner city, it's like spending is like the big thing. Like I have to have this purse, I have to have these clothes, I have to have these shoes. A lot of people are like that. She's kind of like in the middle when it comes to things, but she's not like far off. It's like recently I purchased her a bunch of like Prada, Gucci, and Coach purses. She doesn't even use them. They just sit in the house and just collect dust and shoes and just outfits and stuff. She just like she's very homely, and I love that about her. And I love my wife. But when it comes to her family and their opinions, it's really hard in a relationship, and it's causing a rift. And I'm not looking to make it a physical relationship. I'm not looking to make it an argumentative relationship. I'm just looking to have it to be a happy relationship with two people. We used to, before I was even introduced to her family fully, I met her father, of course, because her father gave me the blessing for being a relationship.
Hold on. I have, listen. I appreciate you calling in. The line is like blowing up. Let me take some other people and call back. But I appreciate you calling in, okay?
Of course.
Okay, thank you.
And thank you for your time.
You're welcome. I'm gonna try to keep it to like 2 to 3 minutes, y'all. I'm gonna try to keep it because if you're trying to call in, call back. The line is open right now. I'm gonna try to keep it 2 to 3 minutes. Coach, he's trying to get her approval through family, like a guy trying to get in good with his girlfriend and best friend. Hello, caller.
Yes, hello.
Hello. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, Charlotte? I having a good night tonight.
I'm good. Yes. You have to turn me down though.
Yeah, you said what now?
You gotta turn me down. However you listening to me, you gotta turn me down.
Okay, got it. Turn me down now. Better.
Yeah.
Okay, is that better? Okay, how you doing?
I'm good.
Called you before. Give you a heads up. My daughter is supposed to be doing a meeting with you coming up in the next couple of days.
Your daughter's meeting with me?
Yes, and I told her that you will be a good candidate to help her out because I can't. I only took her as far as I can take her.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it business?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And let me cook it up. I was in the kitchen cooking, so excuse me. And I think that she would be a great fit for what you are presenting to just the world. And you are a person that sometimes I feel like a lot of times you are misrepresented because of that. And there are very few women that still have that same type of respect for just the relationship and the marriage value that you have. And one thing that I was going through is I'm got a divorce. I'm in the middle of getting divorced. She don't want to get no divorce because she is trying to keep it going, but that's not how I work. I work on the basis of I don't raise 10 children. So that's
you raise how many kids?
That's my children. Huh?
You said how many?
10.
10. Okay, you raised 10 kids.
Yes,
okay.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So that is, that's mixed with my sister's children, who I call them my children, and my children make 10.
Okay.
So now I'm in another situation where my daughter, she's not capable of raising my little daughter, my little granddaughter. And now I'm doing that too.
Okay.
So my wife, at the time, she let me with everybody. But the whole thing is she misrepresented herself. I don't blame her for that. I blame me for that.
Okay.
And my first question is to you, what I stay in Arizona now. Okay,
Uh,
I come from Detroit.
okay.
So my whole thing is now I started trying to look for somebody, but the thing is I keep being approached by, just no disrespect to nobody, by um, Mexican and white women, and I don't want them. I
Right.
want a black woman, but it seems like they're not interested in trying to be with. It's almost like if how to put this, because I know I got to make this real fast. Um, it's almost like it's almost like the music and everything is corrupted the way that it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, like for men like myself, it's kind of difficult or whatsoever. I'm gonna be quiet real fast and tell me, what do you think about that
I
or what
think,
I'm saying?
okay, so basically it's like, you want to be with a black woman, but it's like kind of hard, like running into one or finding one.
It's a
Yeah.
little bit difficult because they're under. Because to be honest with you, it's almost like the ones that I do run into,
Mm-hmm.
they're very materialistic. It's almost like listening to music, listening to our music, our genre of music.
Right.
And it's like that's sad because women like yourself is very few, far in between.
Okay, so
So
do you
it's like
understand?
how, go ahead with the
Do you understand, like, that's not a bad thing though, that when you're meeting them, that you find out they're
thing.
materialistic. That's not a bad thing. Like, I would be like, oh, okay, good, I know that this isn't the type of woman that I want. But you have to, I don't know if you pray or not, but you
Yes,
gotta
I do.
pray and you
I
gotta
meditate.
be specific. Let me tell you something. I've learned this over the last season. You have to be very
Okay.
specific when you pray. And when you meet her, you're gonna know you met her. You know how you're gonna know you met her? You're gonna know because she's gonna be different from any other woman that you've been with. It's gonna feel like it's
Mm-hmm.
too good to be true. And that's how you know
Mm-hmm.
when that's your person. It might scare you a
So,
little bit about them. You see what I'm saying?
so yeah, so somebody like yourself, I'm gonna know when I meet somebody like yourself.
You will know. You will know.
I will
So
know.
don't be discouraged when you meet these other women and they show you that they're materialistic. That's not the type of woman you want to be. But it's so crazy. Before I did this, before I came live, I was shooting content and I just made a video about this very topic. I'm not dropping it yet, but I'm going to drop it soon.
Oh,
And
are
I
you serious?
just did it.
Wow.
I
Okay.
just did it.
Okay. Okay.
It's
That's
so
cool.
crazy.
Now you know what's funny. You know that's how I started to look at you. You brought. I was one day I was riding with the grandbaby, and
Hmm.
you had. I said, let me click on see what you're talking about because I get. How everybody got the little clicks on the internet now, right?
Hmm.
With a good man and a good woman and blah 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 blah. They split. So I'm like, okay. Let me see what you're talking about. And when you was like, no, you better stop treating that black man like that. And black women, y'all better stop doing right. And that black man, you better start doing right by that black woman. I was
Hmm.
like, you know what? That's how I got on to listening to you
Okay.
because it's very rare that it's very rare people, uh, how to say, listen to to what you're saying because they don't want to do that no more. That's why I told my daughter, I said, when when you actually meet her, I said that, look, this is the type of person that, she can help you and also she can guide you in different ways that,
Hmm.
because I believe in a woman on a woman. I
Right.
believe in a man on a man when it comes to guidance because
Hmm.
you really can't, because you can't raise a man. I can't raise a woman.
Hmm.
And I believe that you need both people in the house. I
Hmm.
don't believe so it's like it's hard to find that type of, um, I got a statement that I made to people. And my statement is this: I'm messed up and you messed up. Can we work together to find a medium to
Right.
become one? It's
Right.
me and you, and then the kids and everybody else got to come. Everything else got to come after the fact. We have to build a
Exactly.
ground, and
Exactly.
that's very hard because I'm telling you something, Shalakemia, if I'm saying the name correct, I don't want to
Hmm.
mess it up. I'm telling you something. It's very hard to find women that believe that and actually want to do it anymore.
Right.
Seriously, because they feel like they over the hump, they over 35. It's like it's a difference when it comes to them type of things. So when it's an honor to really be talking to you. Right?
Yeah. They're
Thank you
stuck in their
very much.
ways.
And
Yeah.
matter of fact, I don't want to keep you too long, but hold. Hey, this is my daughter that you're gonna be speaking to. But hold on.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great.
Are you shocked to talk to Shalakemia? Oh my! She is blushing over here. Like, what am I supposed to say to her? You're supposed
It's
to be speaking
okay.
to her in a couple of days.
You said she has an appointment
Business,
with me,
right?
so we'll me and her
So,
we'll definitely talk and get into some things when we talk.
yes, ma'am. Because I wanted, I did that for a reason. I want you to notice that because I wanted you to hear her pureness and her honesty.
Yeah.
That every woman don't have that. She's still a virgin too.
Right.
So, and so that's a good thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's things like that I know that you, from just your energy and the way you perceive things, that you are a beautiful, gifted person.
Thank you.
And so, with that being said, I'm going to get off this line and let
Okay.
you talk to other people. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well,
We will be in
I'll talk
contact
to y'all
later.
soon. I look forward to talking with y'all.
Yes, ma'am. You have a good day and you be safe. And like you tell everybody else, I'm telling you the same thing. Don't let nobody break your stride or your struggle.
Right.
And
Thank
that's
you.
what's important. So, okay, my name is Corey, by the way.
Okay,
So,
Corey. I'll talk to
uh,
y'all soon.
okay, I'll talk
Okay.
to you soon. So, hey, be safe. Have a good day, and talk to you
You too. Bye bye.
later.
Thank you, 17. The line is open. I've seen a few people calling. The line is open now if anybody wants to call in. But I think I left off with children. You know, and I this is what I'm gonna say. It's totally up to us as individuals how we're gonna move. Listen, I'm just a messenger. That's all I am. I'm the messenger. I know a lot of y'all know me. I have coached a lot of y'all within your marriages. I'm not married. I've coached a lot of y'all in your marriages. I coached a lot of y'all in your relationships. I even coach some of y'all in business. But I'm gonna tell you something. One thing I believe in is like when I coach people, in their married, the thing sometimes is just communication. Hello, caller. Hello, how are you? I'm great.
Okay. Well, I want to fart on you. I want to fart all in your mouth, and I want to pee on you like R. Kelly.
Really?
How's that sound? Yes, baby. I want to pee all over you. Drip, drip, drip. On you.
People who don't have a life. Clearly. Let me block him. Hold on, let me block him. Grown people. I can't believe stuff like that. Like grown people, like you are grown and that's how you act. Anyway, let's get back to what I was saying. So I was saying like when I'm coaching like married people, a lot of it is like communication. I've got a lot where, the woman was like, it's situations to where like his family doesn't respect me. And then I get a guy that's like that their family doesn't respect me or, mistreat me, whatever. But what I'm sitting up here and I'm trying to stress in the message is that you have to appreciate your blessing. There's so many times that we take people for granted or we feel like because we have this person, you know what I mean, we can't lose this person or we get comfortable in having someone and we're not listening to that person. We are allowing that person to, be mistreated or be disrespected and things like that. And it doesn't hit us. It doesn't hit a person until this person leaves, until this person detached from the marriage, the relationship, and the situation. And I'm just saying, being disrespected by anybody. Do you know being mistreated and being disrespectful is stressful? Y'all know when y'all be at work and you're in a hostile work environment where your supervisor is disrespecting you, mistreating you, saying certain things to you, that makes you feel like you do not want to go to work. That makes you feel like you really don't even want to go back there, but you have to go back there because that's how you pay your bills. And then what are you doing? You're like, you know what? I'm uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable with this job. I need to go and look for me another job because I'm uncomfortable here. It's the same situation when it comes to relationships and when it comes to marriages. But you have to understand that God sees that God sees when someone is playing on you, mistreating you, disrespecting you. God sees that. And then that's when he prepares you to be moved. That's when he will prepare you to move you somewhere else where someone's going to appreciate you. They're going to value you inside of a relationship. When you are disrespecting, you mistreated, it is stressful. It is really stressful. It's stressful. You feel, you start, some people start to become depressed. You know what I mean? It's like you should not have to be in environments like that. A lot of people, I think a lot of people feel like they've been doing relationships one way, doing marriages one way, that is the way to be. That being in a toxic marriage, a toxic relationship with children, that's how things are supposed to be. That's how a household is supposed to be ran. And that is not true. That is not true. That is not true. You can have a peaceful household. You can have a peaceful relationship. You can have a peaceful environment. If you want peace, if you create peace, you can have it. But you have to also find someone else that's peaceful. They have to be peaceful too. You have to align with each other. Are we going to have a peaceful life? Are we going to have a peaceful environment? Are we going to have a peaceful household? How are we? You have to understand that your relationship and your marriage is going to be under attack too. You have to understand that. So you have to come together as a team, and you have to be like, it doesn't matter which way the attack is coming from. You have to, as a team, shut the attack down. You can shut attacks down in a respectful manner, in a very humble manner. You don't have to disrespect anybody. You know what I mean? You don't have to cuss nobody out. You don't have to do any of that. You just don't. Hello, caller. Hello?
Hello, caller. Can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you, but I need you to
turn. Hold on 1 second. My phone is messed up. There we go. How you doing today?
I'm good, and you?
I'm lovely. Thanks for asking. I just comment real briefly on the subject matter. I just came in. I saw the title about your mother disrespecting your man, and I just wanted to say, as Black women, and I say Black because we Black here. Sorry, me and you go. When you realize that you have been raised in toxicity, you really need to figure out which way that's going to lead your life. And in my situation, I was dating a guy, and I never brought anyone home, but I went on and let him come to the house. And one day, my mom, and we were over 30, and she said, where's that boy you talked to? And I was raised with her, hearing her call her husband a boy. And he was definitely in a childlike state with her because he lived with us in the house her father built. And when she said that, I immediately corrected her. And like you said, it's my mom, so I had to be respectful.
Right.
And I told her, I said, hey, Mama, look, let's get one thing understood. I don't date boys.
Right.
You almost 40. You can't call mine a boy.
Right.
You may call yours a boy, but you can't call mine a boy.
Right.
And
yeah.
She said, well, y'all both kids to me. I said, but you call the man you're married to a boy all my life. And he has not manned up yet. Well, I want you to know I don't deal with boys because boys are underage. Right. So please be respectful of me, even though you disrespect him. Right. So, yeah, I just wanted to give that comment because you have to know which direction you want to let your life go in, because if I would have lived my life being as disrespectful to men as I saw her be, I would probably I would fit that label that everyone else is in. But fortunately, I had a father that was a good daddy to me, and he literally taught me how to be and appreciate. And then he had a father. He was raised in a two-parent household. So between him, his father, and my grandmother, I was able to experience what a real relationship looked like versus toxicity. And I just want to share that so that we all can know that there is hope. You just have to find the direction in which you want to go in. You don't have to be a product of your environment.
Right. Right.
And keep doing your such a good job. I am following you and subscribe, and I wish you the best.
Thank you so much, Queen. I appreciate that.
All right, thank you.
Okay, good night. I with that right there, yeah, like we definitely got to see better when it comes to. I'm not calling my man boy. Mm-mm. Mm. Um, that just threw me off. We got a lot, like we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do. But I seen your comment doing more calling shows. Yeah. I've been I'm doing a lot of stuff like by myself. So I am bringing the talk show back. Um I am bringing the talk show back in February. So you'll see the talk show. I decided to do Tuesdays. Tuesdays are a safer day because I'm travel during the weekends. I usually maybe travel back home Monday, but if I go somewhere and I don't travel and I'm there for longer, that I'll still do the show when I'm out of town. I make sure that I have all my equipment and stuff. Um me just talking about this, when she was just talking, God just put in my spirit, that somebody needed this message. I'm all for saving relationships, I'm all for saving marriages, I'm all for saving friendships, and just different ships that you have in your life. I'm all for saving them with some good clear communication. We can't save things unless we come and have conversations like this. You cannot, I mean, a lot of people have a miserable mother. I'm just being honest. Children can be miserable, family can be, it's a whole bunch of people that can be miserable and unhappy with themselves, and they will try to project that on you, and they will try to project that on your relationship, and to be them people that sit up and be like, oh, I'm good single, I'm happy. No, you ain't. Stop lying. Stop lying, because if you was happy, you would not be sitting up and being toxic and miserable and disrespectful to your child's relationship, to your siblings' relationship, to somebody in your family's relationship, and your friends' relationship. You wouldn't be sitting up and you wouldn't be doing that. I was in the car riding today, and I was just thinking about how I sit up and I hear women tell the first thing when a woman is going through something in their relationship. That's why there's so many women that come and they trust me, because they know that their business. I'm not gonna tell nobody, and they know that they're about to get some genuine advice. The first thing that a lot of these black women are telling other black women is leave him. Leave him. Now I can understand if he may have cheated, cheated, had a baby, put his hands on you, something like that. But misunderstandings of miscommunication, you should not be sitting up and you should not be telling someone to leave their significant other. The first thing, no. That happens so much. And then a lot of women take this advice and run with it. You know why? Because, oh, that's my friend. That's been my friend for a long time. You know, oh, this is my mom. This is my sister. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. They can be unhappy with themselves and want you to come and be unhappy with them. Misery loves company. Misery loves company, baby. It just loves company. I don't know who needed to hear this tonight. I don't know. I don't know whose marriage is going to be saved, whose relationship is going to be saved. I don't know who was going through, something similar. to this, but at the end of the day, you have to set boundaries when it comes to your person. You have to. You have to. I've I've had women. I've had women in my comments crying. Shalakemia, just please help me get my husband back. But it's like in some of those situations, it was too late. There was nothing I could do. There was nothing I could say. I wish that, I could have intervened sooner and just been able to bring some wisdom to the table and take the scale off of some people's eyes and show them, I know you trust your mom. I know you trust your dad. I know you love and trust your children. I know you've known these people your whole entire life. But baby, let me tell you something. They can be toxic too. We don't have these conversations, but we do now. They can be toxic too. They can mess up your happiness too. They can do that. But the question is, are you going to allow that? I have people that be like, oh, my children, grown children. Oh, they disrespecting my man. And listen, baby, they're grown. You can't be in here grown where you don't pay no bills. I don't care if you do contribute to a bill. You can't disrespect the man of the house in here, baby. You're going to have to go. I don't care if you go tell my mom, my aunt, and all 55 of my cousins that I put you out over my man. I don't care who you tell. This is my home. I don't care about that. Tell them, see, but what they forget to go tell somebody is that they was disrespectful. They forget to tell people that part. You don't do that. And nobody has to sit up and nobody has to tolerate that. Even if your child is not grown, those children need to be put in check. Period, point blank. But we give these people a pass because they're related to us. We know them for so long. They're our parents, they're our children. God ain't gonna give you no pass. I'm just being real with you. God ain't gonna give you no pass. And you're gonna have to answer for that. You're gonna have to answer for that. It's too many people that have sat up and let this behavior go on for so long. What you mad that somebody in your family or somebody gonna be mad at you? Speak up for yourself. They're trying to run all over you for real, for real. They're trying to run all over you. They are really trying to set up and run all over you. You ever thought about God blessed you with, this amazing person? Let me tell you something. When you in a relationship with somebody, or you married somebody and they're dope and they got your back and they love you and everybody see they love you, the miserable ones and the toxic ones don't like that they're good to you. They don't like it. They're not happy for you. So they're going to speak against what you have. Hello. They're going to speak against it. They're going to come up against it. They're going to allow the enemy to use them. They're going to allow the enemy to use them against you. But let me tell you something, because like I said, I just came to wake some people up. I just came to save a marriage, a relationship. I came to save it. When that person leaves, because they tired, it don't affect nobody but you. And how about those people are happy? They happy that you're miserable. I'm just a messenger. I'm just a messenger. they happy. And they gonna go back to treating you like you ain't nothing. They gonna treat you like you ain't nothing. That's what they gonna treat you like. They gonna keep getting over on you. They gonna keep feeling like they can control you. All of that. All of that. If you don't stand up for yourself and stand up for the person that you're in a relationship with or the person that you married to. Do you understand that when you let somebody come up against your significant other, that makes your significant other look at you in a different light? Do you understand that God looks at you like, why would you pray and ask me to bless you with somebody just to treat them bad, to allow your family to treat them bad, your children to treat them bad. Why? Your friends to treat them bad. Why? Do you think after that God's gonna bless you with somebody else? I'm just asking. If I was God, I'd tell y'all stop. Don't pray. Don't pray about that no more. But I'm not God, and God is faithful and all that. But God is not gonna keep. He's not gonna continue to put His children in bad situations. He's not doing that. He's not doing that. And the family that's doing that, that's watching me, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Y'all should really be ashamed of yourself. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. If y'all ain't coming to the situation to remind somebody, look, baby, you got a good man there. Baby, you got a good woman there. Don't mess this up. Or go talk to your woman. Go talk to your man. If you ain't coming to do that, mind your miserable, toxic business. Period. 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 Point blank. That's all I'm saying. That's me though. You know, I got a lot of backlash when I dropped that video. That's me. I'm not allowing that to happen. But I mean, I'm outspoken. I'm a strong person. I'm gonna speak my mind. I'm gonna say what I want to say, and I don't care. You can take it how you want to take it. This is my blessing. This is who God blessed me with. I'm gonna protect him. Don't ever feel like you're gonna come up against them, cause baby, you got to feel my wrath. Now come over here playing if you want to, cause I'm not about to play with you behind my man. I'm not doing it. Sorry, I stopped speaking to you, and I will cut you straight off, and have no problem with it, because right is right, and wrong is wrong. And men, y'all got to stop. Y'all got to stop it too. If some of y'all men out here that sit up and allow your mom, baby, the demon mother-in-law, y'all allow your mom to talk to your wife any type of way. No, you don't get to do that. You know, I'm a mother-in-law. I would never do that to my daughter-in-law. I just wouldn't. I've had a few daughter-in-laws. We've great relationships. When I say great, I couldn't ask for a better daughter-in-law. Thank you, God, for blessing me with this daughter-in-law, because she's a beautiful person. She got a beautiful heart, but I'm a different person. You see what I'm saying? I'm a different person. I have a different mindset, but I'm not sitting up here. I'm not going to take advantage of my daughter-in-law. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. But you know, that's me. But y'all men, y'all got to stop that. Y'all got to stop that. Y'all got to stop that. For you end up, baby, with a woman and you miserable. You got to stop that. It's mother-in-laws out here that's jealous and envious too. It's mothers out here that's jealous and envious too, because they're not happy. They're not happy with their life. And it's sad that you wouldn't be happy for your child. As a mother, I want my sons to be with a woman that loves them for them and that got their back. I'm not going. I don't want my son to be with a woman that uses him and don't have his best interest. No, I don't want him to be with anybody like that. But I'm gonna feel blessed if I have a beautiful daughter-in-law that has my son's best interest. I know my son is safe. I know she got my son's back. You see what I'm saying? That's what I want for my sons. I don't sit up here and I don't go against God. God ain't sat up here and told me, oh, go over there and be messy in a relationship. Go over there and talk about your daughter-in-law. Oh, you know, say stuff that you ain't supposed to say to your daughter-in-law. And God ain't told me to do that. God ain't told me to do that. I'm sorry. God ain't told me to do that at all. And I'm not doing it. But like I said, I'm a different kind of woman. Hello, caller.
Yeah. So basically, like, I'm a 23-year-old man who needs desperate advice on dating. I was wondering if you could help me with that.
Okay.
So basically, like, I'm a 23-year-old black man, but I come from like a family of parents who were raised in the 50s and 60s. And then basically, like, I used to be big in high school, and then I had acne all over my face, didn't get no women. Then after high school, I slimmed down, got rid of all that acne on my face. young women started coming at me like nonstop. The women started chasing me instead of me chasing them. And so I thought I had like 6 relationships with young women. And then so all of them had basically like used me, took my money and cheated on me.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, they ended up going with one of these street dudes
Mm-hmm.
who didn't mean them any good. And then so after that 6th one,
Mm-hmm.
I decided that I would only date probably like 40 to 55-year-old women, even though I'm only 23 now. But
Mm-hmm.
every time I try to talk to a 40 to 55-year-old woman, it's like they always give me 1 out of 4 responses. So I'll say the one I get most often last. It's either every time I try to talk to an older woman, they tell me, I'm too old for you. I got kids your age. I got kids older than you. Or the one I get most often is, boy, I'm old enough to be your mama.
Yeah.
So what can I do to get myself up to par with the standards of older women?
I found myself in that situation the other day. This guy tried to talk to me, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm 27, and I'm a grown man, and how old are you? 29?" I'm like, "No, I'm 40." He like, "Well, I need to see." He like, "I need to see some ID." I said, "Baby, my oldest son is 26, baby. I got a child your age." I mean, listen, I'm not dating nobody my son's age. I'm not doing that. I can't bring you home, baby. Like, I can't do that. You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't do that. But I think that I want you to know that there are mature young women your age, out here, and the one for you, you will find her, and you will know when you find her, because you come off to me as a young man that, you don't seem like a player to me. You seem like somebody that want to get with somebody and build a life. Am I right?
I'm trying to get married and build a. Well, I'm not trying to have kids. It's basically like that'll be like, because like the age range I'm going for, I know you women in your 40s and 50s be done with that. So I'll just settle for this, letting my legacy die off with me.
Well, I'm not done. I'm not having no baby with no 23-year-old, but I'm not done having children yet. I would like to have one. I would like to squeeze one more in there. But I really feel like I feel your energy. Your energy is great. I feel like you are going to find a young woman that wants the same things. You're saying that you want to get married. I'm sure you have career goals. And when you're dating, these are the type of conversations that you have, because I know that a lot of women get irritated because maybe like, like, what do you bring to the table? And not saying like directly, what do you bring to the table? But they're asking you questions, and some get kind of, I don't know what word to use, but they just kind of, it rubs them the wrong way.
It rubs
them the wrong way. But I want people to understand that men are asking you these questions to see if y'all fit each other's future. They're not trying to be like, oh, well, what do you bring to the table? No, they're just trying to see if y'all fit each other. Like the questions that I ask people, I'm just trying to see, like, are we on the same page? Do we both have goals? Are we ambitious? Do we both want to buy a house?
Right.
Those are questions that you need to know, because I know a couple that got married. One didn't want to have kids, and one wanted to have kids. They never had the conversation when they were dating, and they got married. They never had the conversation. So we have to have these kind of conversations in these spaces. I feel like you are going to find that young woman, and you're going to find her, and y'all goals and dreams and what you want in life is going to align. Now let me tell you something, young buck, okay? Let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
Now when you find her, okay, you treat her right.
Well, I always do that. So basically, like,
Okay,
another thing I didn't mention is that
right when
like,
you find her.
people say I go overboard with how I treat with the women I'm with, because whenever I was with these women, right, the 6 young women I was with, I do all the housework, including the cooking, the cleaning, the laundry, do the dishes. If we eat dinner at home that day, that is, and then take out on dates in the weekend, me always paying for everything. And lastly, the most important part, that whenever they with me, I don't let one moment pass where they don't feel like the world revolves around them. And I had no appreciation for any of that out of young women.
So you have to understand, you were just dating and dealing with the wrong type of women. I don't want you to lose that momentum, because you are going to find her very soon. I promise you are going to find her very soon. I just don't want you to find her and pull back and feel like, you know what, I'm not going to do this because how other women treated me. No, that's when, you know, the enemy will try to trick you. You see what I'm saying? It's like when you meet that girl, you know what I mean? And that's the girl that deserves all of that. That happens in a lot of relationships. People will treat people good, they'll get used, and I feel like, well, I'm not gonna do that no more. But then you meet the person that you should do all of that for.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. But thing
She's
is, I'm just
coming.
like
I want you to
in the
know.
American society with the westernized culture, it's like trying to find a needle in the haystack with this generation.
I want you to know you're going to find where are you looking though?
See, I'm in Houston, Texas. That's where I live.
I mean, sometimes, you know, I tell people all the time, sometimes, you know, your soulmate or the person that you're supposed to be with, they may not live in the same city as you. They might not live in the same state as you. But let me tell you something, you will find your person. They may not. Don't be afraid to, you know, meet people that don't live, you know, where you're at.
Yes, ma'am.
You
I get what
know,
you're saying.
um and just fill a person out, have a conversation. You know, when you first talk to somebody, you know what you want out of them and from them, or you know, what you want with them. When you the first conversation, you know if you want to talk to them again or you do not want to talk to them again. You know that. But you
Yeah,
seem
you're
so
right about
great.
that.
You remind me of my son, my 21-year-old. My 21-year-old is like that. He like, listen, a woman ain't paying for nothing while she with me. I'ma open the door. I'ma do, you know, I'ma do this, I'ma do that. You sound just like my son. Like that's how my son is. He don't need no whole bunch of women to validate, you know, the man he is. And at 21, you know, which some people feel like that on both sides. There's women that feel like attention from a whole lot of men that makes them feel, you know, like somebody. And some men feel like, you know, the same way. You know, I'm proud that my son doesn't feel that way. You know what I mean? He has goals like you, like, you know, I want to get married. You see what I'm saying? I want to buy a house and I want to do this and I want to do that. And it's like, where did those values go, you know, when it comes to the family unit, period? Like, where did that go? I'm glad that that was instilled in you. You sound like a great young man. And I pray, you
Thank
know,
you.
that God sends that great young woman for you. And I know y'all gonna build an empire. And I know y'all gonna get married. Send me an invitation. And I know y'all just gonna do great things together. It's coming. It's coming. Prepare for it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. And yeah, like I
Well,
said, I want an invitation to the wedding because I'm coming.
I'll send it to you whenever we get going.
Okay, I want to update. I want to update in a couple months.
I'll get that to you. I'll call back in. But,
Okay.
well, I don't have to go to bed. I got to be at work at 6 a.m. tomorrow. So
Okay. Well, have a
you have
good
a good
night.
night.
You too. Bye bye. I like callers like that. I like callers like that. Um, am I in Dallas? No, I'm not in Dallas. I'm in Pennsylvania, where it's cold. Where it's really, really cold. It's the mothers who don't want to let their sons go because that's their man. Yeah, yeah. There, I mean, we could be here all night. You know, there's mothers that, you know, expect their sons to take care of them. There's mothers that, you know, don't got a man and, you know, want to be all up in the mix of, you know, their son's relationship. There's so many different things. I'm just glad that God blessed me to be the kind of mom that I am. I definitely treat the girls that they go with accordingly. Um I'm glad I'm the type of mother-in-law that can thank God, like, you know, thank you, God, you know, that, you know, she just loves my son, you know, for him and things like that. Like, I'm just glad I'm that kind of mother-in-law. And even when it comes to being a mother and my children, you know, come to me about certain things. But I don't just, one thing about me as a mom, my sons can come to me and ask me, you know, things about their relationship if they need advice, but also that the girl that they're in a relationship with can also come to me, and they know the girls, they already know, like, I'm not the type of mom like, oh, that's my son, I'm gonna take his side, he ain't wrong. I don't do that. I make it very comfortable because I serve God. You see what I'm saying? I have a relationship with God. So I'm not the type of person to shut somebody out or not make somebody feel comfortable. If there has been some stuff going on between my son and his girlfriend. They were both able to come to me separately. You see what I'm saying? And she feels comfortable. I need that. I need her to feel comfortable to be able to come to me too. Because if it's something as a mother and just as a person that I can come and I can do to help both of them understand what's going on and help them come back together, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. That and not just with my children. I want to do that with people, period. I want to do that. Yeah. She's Christ. Yes. That's my cousin. Yep, that's my cousin. That's my first cousin, actually. Yep, that's my first cousin. Um okay. Hello, caller. Hello? Hello? Some mothers make it worse. Yeah. Thank you, Juice Box. Yeah, it does. I hope some of the moms, watch this video. You know, um, it you gotta do better. You know, um, Relationships, aren't easy. I know a lot of people that be like stuck in their ways and things like that. But it's like I'm a just be real. You can't be like that to your children, and you can't be like that to people and then want God to bless you with a relationship. Because if you sit up and you meddle in relationships, or you being toxic and you doing all these different things, that's what someone is going to come and do to you times 10. You see what I'm saying? I want the kind of mother-in-law that I am. And I pray about that like every night. Like my prayer for that like kind of just changed. But I'm like, God, I want bless me with a mother-in-law like the kind of mother-in-law I am. You know what I mean? Where we have a beautiful relationship. You see what I'm saying? I'm able to talk to her about things. She's able to talk to me about things. She pour into me and I pour into her. That's what kind of, mother-in-law that I want. You know, um the same with the father-in-law. You know what I mean? That's what kind of, father-in-law that I want. I want to have a great relationship with my in-laws. You know what I mean? I want my man to have a great relationship, with my family and with my children. You know what I mean? We can accomplish those type of things. Things don't always have to be toxic, yo. I'm telling you, you might be used to toxic, but toxic is not how we are supposed to be living. We're not supposed to be living in toxic environments. We're not supposed to be accepting certain things because it's certain people. That's not how things are supposed to go. It's just not. It's just not. If I can't contribute anything positive to my son's relationship, then I don't need to contribute nothing. And I know my boundaries, because at the end of the day, like I said, I take my relationship with God very serious. So I'm not going to sit up here and I'm not going to be toxic and miserable or anything to my sons and their relationships, because I wouldn't want nobody to do that to me. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to put out what I want back. That's what I'm going to do. Right, Christina? Everything ain't everybody's business. Absolutely. Absolutely. I do feel like to a certain extent you should keep your family out. You can have those people where you go and you confide in them about certain stuff. Let me tell you something. Everybody confides in me. Everybody confides in me. You know why? Because they know they can come to me and they can vent about their husband, and I'm not gonna get around their husband and act like, oh well, I don't like him no more because the way he treated you. You gotta you can't vent to those family members. You can't vent to those friends that when you vent to them and you and your husband going through something, and you and your husband, make up, and they send up her treating your husband some type of way and act like, and you can't vent to those people. That's why everybody come and vent to me, because I'm not gonna do that. I understand that people go through stuff. I understand that. I'm not gonna sit up here and my son come to me about his girlfriend, and he like, oh yeah, because mom, when I speak to her, I'm not gonna treat her no type of way. I'm not gonna do that. That's not a part of my purpose. That's not who I am as a person. I'm not doing that. I'm going to listen to both of them. I'm going to be real with both of them. I'm not taking my son's side because that's my son. Mm-mm. I'm a right is right and wrong is wrong kind of person. If my son's wrong, oh baby, I'm gonna tell him he's wrong, and they know that. That's why they don't play with me. They know that. I'm gonna tell them that they're wrong, and son, you need to make things right. Because I think a lot of parents need to understand that when you sit up and you say that you serve God and you're on this journey and you want to be a better person and things like that, that you have to understand you have a responsibility. And it's not just a responsibility to your children, you have a responsibility in the kingdom of God. You see what I'm saying? You can't sit up here in the kingdom of God and be like, oh, that's my son, he wrong, but I'm gonna have his back and baby. God said correct that child. Correct that child. Correct them. I'm gonna correct my kids. I have told my children, if I'm not following God, don't follow me, baby. And that's the realest thing I could have ever told them. Don't follow me if I'm not following God. And that's just me being a loving mother. That's it. That's just me being a loving mother. I love my children, but I don't love them to the point where I'm going to enable them. I'm not going to enable my children. I'm not going to allow my children to mistreat a woman, disrespect a woman, and me not say nothing. I'm a woman first. I'm a woman first. Absolutely. I'm a woman first. I'm not condoning that. That I feel like that is of the enemy. That's of the enemy. I don't serve the enemy. So I'm not condoning that. It doesn't matter if it's coming from my kids. I'm not condoning that. No matter who it's coming from. I raise boys that your daughters don't have to heal from. I don't condone that type of behavior. I just don't. Juice box, spare the rod, spoil the child, steer them in the right direction they should go. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me tell you something. If my son is doing something that is wrong, I'm going to pull my son to the side. I'm gonna speak on that. I'm gonna speak on that. God brings it to my attention what my son did. It's my duty to correct my child. I'm not going to allow you sitting out here mistreating women. I'm not going to allow you to be doing this and doing that. No, absolutely not. It doesn't matter how old they are. It doesn't matter. We are the parents. We must still guide and teach them up. You go against God when you condone the wrongdoing of your children. When your children disrespect that man of the house and you condone it, that's not of God. It's just not. And you got the answer for that. You got to answer for it. You got to. It ain't no way around it. It ain't no way around it. And it goes both ways. It goes both ways. Yeah. But I hope that this live, I hope that marriages are saved from it. I hope relationships are saved. I hope mother-in-laws will get better and do better. um I hope mothers will do better and get better. Okay, it went out. I hope that we just get better as people, and we have to also be careful of who we try to throw away. We got to be careful who we try to do wrong. Sometimes when you throw somebody away and you don't respect them and value them and cherish them, you're throwing God away. That's dangerous. That's dangerous, when you do that. When you taking people for granted, you taking God for granted. That's why we have to be very careful on how we sit up and we handle people and we treat people that God put in our lives. We have to be very, very careful, of how we're handling people. Hey Nina, how are you? We have to be careful. And I'm just a messenger. I'm just a messenger. That's all I am. It's like you can take the message and you can apply it or you not apply it. Just like I tell my children. I say, listen, you know, hello caller. Hello caller.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I had a question for you.
Okay.
Corey, I had a question for you. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. How did you start to heal? How did you start to heal yourself?
How did I start to
Or is
heal,
that,
heal myself?
or is that too personal for over the radio, like over the internet? How did you start to like heal
How did I start
yourself
to heal from what?
from like your pain and your, your ups and downs, things that you feel like you were sliding or things like that? How did you?
Um,
What was your process? That you?
um,
I'm not talking about just you, because everybody's different on that.
yeah, my process was prayer.
Okay.
Definitely prayer. Definitely just having a conversation, with God. Like I'm sitting up here talking to y'all. I talk to God like that. I'll be driving in the car talking to God.
Yep.
That's my peaceful place. You know how they say the Lord is our shepherd. I
Yep.
believe I
And
believe
I
in my
shall now want. And yep.
I believe in my heart that when I'm too far away from the shepherd, I'm too far away from what I need in life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big
And that,
believer. I'm a big believer of that. I mean, y'all don't know, but throughout this journey, of me on this platform, I went through about 2 or 3 breakups. And
yeah, that's
if
why
y'all
I asked you that.
if
Hold on,
y'all
please. That's why I asked you that.
if
How
y'all
are you? How did you? That's what I really wanted to know. Like,
yeah,
how did you? How did you become this particular person? Because like in the Bible, tell you there's seasons for all different things that happen.
right.
So, how did you come to this point in your life in this season?
Yeah.
What made you get to
I'm gonna have to say that I owe it to God. But one thing y'all didn't
that?
see me do is y'all didn't see me go through a breakup with someone that hurt me, and y'all didn't see me come bash black men. Y'all didn't see me
Mm-hmm.
do that. That's not what
Mm-hmm.
God told me to do. I do what God
Mm-hmm.
tells me to do. And yeah, I've been hurt. I've been mistreated. I've been used. It's been a lot. But one thing I try to do is walk away from a relationship with clean hands. And when I say
Correct.
walk away with clean hands, I don't hurt people. I don't try to get back at people. I will go very silent, and I will get in God's presence, and I will tell God how hurt I am.
Right.
I will express everything that I have to express to God.
Mm-hmm.
And I will ask God, how do you want me to handle this moving forward? What are you trying to teach me, God? What are you trying to show
That
me?
you haven't learned yet. That you haven't learned yet.
Yeah, like
I know.
what are you trying to show me? God reminds me when I get in his presence, he reminds me of my worth.
Yep.
And he also like not praises me, but he sends people to tell me, like, oh, Shalakemia, like you really blessed my life with this, or Shalakemia, I appreciate you. I'm telling you, like when I'm in that moment, God will send people to tell me how much they appreciate me, and tell me, just so many things. God's proud of you. You know what I mean? God said he's about to
Yep.
bless you for being obedient over this and that. It's like he knows when to bring that flood of people in, because at that moment I'm broken because I'm not a perfect woman. I want to make that clear. I'm not a perfect woman, but I'm going to tell you something. If I'm your friend, if I'm your woman, if
You're that.
whoever I am to
You're just
you,
that.
when I come to the table, I'm coming with peace.
Right. You're
I'm
just that.
coming
You
to
everything that you
pour.
say you are.
Right.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I'm not
Right.
coming to talk about you. I'm not coming to drag you. I'm coming to empower, inspire, and motivate. And do y'all understand that God had to tell me people look at you, Shalakemia, like you are perfect. And
No.
that scares them.
Can I be honest with you? Can I be honest with you? I've
Uh-huh.
never looked at you like that. I always look at you for what you are.
Yeah. I
And that
mean,
is you are a person that are growing with you ever since I started listening to you.
mm-hmm.
I realized that that's who you are. You're a person that's growing with the time and with wisdom. You having what you call matriarch wisdom,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people can understand that where you're
Right.
coming from. And the funny thing about what you're saying is my mother. That's funny because she always told me. My mother knew when my father till the day she passed. And she
Mm-hmm.
told me one thing. She said, Corey, remember one thing. If a woman loves you and cares for you, she ain't going nowhere.
Mm-mm.
And my father put my mother through some crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother, or whatsoever. She was a church-born woman, and she told me, she said, Corey, never forget, a woman is not the same way you're talking. A woman, you raise this, it's like what you said, you raise a child, and where they were going, they would not they won't veer off. Well, when I'm listening to you talk, that's funny you brought that up because that's true. If you there for me and I'm there for you, you ain't going nowhere.
Right.
You ain't going nowhere. And
Absolutely.
she always told me, if you do that and you feel like you have to go, do your very damn best. So that way, when you leave, you don't never have a fear or nothing of what happened.
Right.
And that's what I keep hearing out of you, as far as you saying you're going to give your best.
Yeah.
And so when people don't understand what you're saying, because, I'm looking at your chat and I'm looking at all that. That's good what everybody's saying, but you also know he sees for you know. So a lot of people say it's a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But that's not really the fact. Like me telling you the stuff that I'm telling you, I don't care if they give a damn who's listening or whatsoever, because you are who you are.
Right.
My people will know me by my stripes.
Right.
I'm
by
going
your fruit.
along with what you do. So it's like at the same time, do you know that you're going to be blessed in due time? Do you know in a couple of days you're going to be blessed as well? You might that thing that you're looking for, you might find that. But do you know when it's there?
Are you saying that to me?
Yes, I'm saying that to you.
Yeah, you're the fifth person that told me that. I got that message 5 times within the last couple of days.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? You're gonna be shocked at who it is. You're gonna be, because I'm gonna be shocked at who it is. And that's funny, because that's why I called back to ask you, do you know that you're going to be blessed?
Yeah.
And it's coming pretty soon.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. It's not easy to be obedient. Especially when you go through things, because sometimes you're so mad, but it's a time for God to test you. I had somebody come to me and they said, Shalakemia, you passed the test. And I'm like, what test? They said, God was testing you. They told me this. They said, you had all the cards in your hand to ruin somebody and you still didn't do it. I said, I'm not interested in ruining anybody. I don't come into people's lives to ruin them. And I've had people tell me like, oh, I think I'm perfect. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Why do you feel like I'm perfect? Because I'm not disrespecting you as a man. I'm not calling you out your name. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not doing those things. Like, that's not perfection. That's how people.
That's fear of the individual, whether it's male or female. That's fear for what they don't know. The unseen is always the unjust. I'm talking to you in this form because this is what, like I said, sometimes we got to come to people level.
Right.
And a lot of people can't do that.
Right.
And it does. The unseen come to the unjust as well as the just.
Right.
So therefore, when I'm asking you is, do you understand that, pretty soon you might be in a position, and I'm being wrong. You're going to be in a position that your same values and your same views is very much so met. I just want you to know that you got to pay attention to it and make sure that you don't run from it either.
Right. Right. No, absolutely.
Because a lot of times, we get caught up in craziness.
Yeah.
Real craziness. Like, now I've been there. That's why I actually I'm like, wow, you're saying everything that people want to hear, but let's be honest, do they really want to hear it? No. It just sounds good to them until they have to experience it.
Right.
Then they don't know how to take it. Yeah. They don't know how to say, okay, this person's going to be valuable to me, but I never had value.
I never had value. That's
right. So I'm talking about that goes for you and me. When we look at value, we got to really recognize, like, even the people that's in the chat, everybody that's out there, your value is your value. But do you know when something just needs to be taught, or when something just needs to be talked to?
Right.
I remember my pastor, a long time ago. He passed now. And like he told me, he said, Corey, you're going to say you're sorry 1,000,000 times in your marriage. And I was like, I know, well, you sound crazy. I'm like, you know what I had to realize?
Wow.
He was telling me that sorry don't mean you did something wrong or right. It just means at that moment. It took me years to understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you that because that goes for me or anybody else.
Right.
We're going to have to realize that it's going to take that, like you said, that passion,
Mm-hmm.
that passion for the person, because the person is you and the other person, you and me and you, we can do anything together.
Mm-hmm.
And we can break down any wall, just like you just said. You and when you brought up the toxicity, if I'm saying that correctly, in people, you're right. You're right about that. Families are toxic.
Yeah.
Kids are toxic.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's toxic. So how do you, as Shalakemia, deal with that? Because you're going to meet the person, but they're going to have certain things that they can't help. My statement that I make to people, I can't help where I come from, where I was born.
Right.
I can't help that. You can't help that.
Right.
So how do you deal with that? How are you going to deal with that? Knowing, to be honest with you, it is going to be some pushback. Like you said, it ain't going to be easy. Right. How are you going to deal with that, Shalakemia, when it comes to you pretty soon? Because it's coming to you.
Right, but I mean, I feel like I've already experienced that, but you also have to understand is, I can't help where I come from. I don't expect, my significant other to be able to help where he comes from, but you do have a hand in what you tolerate.
Correct.
You do. It's correct. Like nobody's family's perfect. Everybody has toxic family members, but you control what you tolerate. I'm not about to sit up here and make an excuse and say, "Oh, I came from a toxic family. My family's toxic." Yes, but I don't have to be. I don't have to be toxic. You see what I'm saying? I don't have to be negative to people. I don't have to do that. And my partner and my significant other doesn't have to deal with that either. We don't have to deal with those type of things. Come on, like we're not gonna sit up here in front, like right now.
That's where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Right.
What I'm saying, what I'm sitting up here saying. Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. People right now don't deal with their family for their reasons. So why would you get in a relationship and think that things are going to change? You see what I'm saying? We do that in a single state. So then listen, if your family's toxic or whoever's toxic, whatever's going on, like just don't introduce me to them then. You don't even be around them. So why introduce people to your toxic family members that you don't even deal with? That don't even make sense.
It don't. Matter of fact, it's almost like you see yourself before it gets started. Yeah, you are.
I'm just being honest. I don't see. Listen, I'm not perfect. I don't come from no perfect family, But this is my thing. I came to, a place in my life where I said, listen, I want to be in a positive environment. I want I want to be peaceful. I want to be empowering. I want to be inspiring. I don't want to come to people's lives and tear them down and use them and hurt them and make them cry. And I don't want to be that person. People've done that to me. So why would I ever come?
You want to do that on somebody?
Right. Why would I know the level of pain and hurt? Why would I ever want to come and hurt somebody else? And not only that, like I said, you have to answer to God on how you treat people. So be careful how you tread. Yep, we gotta be careful.
The Bible even tells you know what? That's what the Bible even tells you. Tread light.
Yes.
For he who knows will see. I know where you're going with this.
You will reap tenfold. You will reap tenfold what you've done to people. Do you know I had two people come and say, Shalakemia, you're a chosen one. I never heard about a chosen one before. They said, Shalakemia, you're a chosen one.
Yeah, you are.
And you don't understand. That's
why I'm calling you back, because I wanted to see your reaction and your state towards that. And you know what I'm saying, to know that you are the chosen and that you do look different. You're not you don't look like what the whole world wants, the Cardi B's and all this crazy. You look like a natural woman. And a lot of people can't deal with that because we so far, I say we've been juiced up by the society, by our people,
right,
to make this think that you have to be in a certain way or a certain form,
and
that's not true. And then we do that both ways. It's like the statement you just made. You're very correct about that. My statement, I got a statement that I tell people, and that is, God and fear and God don't share the same place. You can't go in something fearing and then talking about something, you're godly or you're holy or you're a goddess or
you can't do it.
You're a God. You can't do that. You have to understand that fear and God don't share the same place.
Yeah.
There's two different worlds that people seem to intertwine. You can't intertwine them and think something good gonna come from.
You can't.
Like you said, if you don't deal with your family, look, I'm telling you, I don't deal with my family. So what would I look like taking you around my family? And I don't deal with
it doesn't make sense. And my thing is, I'm not expecting a perfect family, but come on, you know how your family can get. You know how things can go. Why would you want to? I don't think people. I think people are so used to toxic relationships, arguing, calling out their name, fighting, fussing, that when you get into a relationship, I've had people get into a relationship with me, right? And I felt like they wanted me to call them out their name or something, or they wanted me to disrespect them, or I'm just like, well, that's not me. You know, go find, if that's what you want and that's what you used to, go find what you want and what you used to, because that's just not me. I want to be loving, and I want to be caring, and I want to empower you and inspire you and motivate you. You see what I'm saying? I want to have your back. Like, I don't want to tear you down. I don't want nobody tear my sons down. I don't want nobody to tear my 8 brothers down.
You're right about that. You're right, because I don't believe that, like, you know, people be like, you bitch. I don't do all that, because I'm telling you something. Why would I say something towards something that I know I'm going to regret? Watch the words that come out of your mouth.
You don't want nobody to say that to your daughter. So why would you say that?
You are very much true. They use all of this whole. Hold on, stop. Are you really willing to hold that and stand on that, or are you just saying it out of your emotion? Get out your emotion and come back to reality. People say things, but watch what you say.
Yeah.
When you watch what you say, you will see that at the end of the day, what you say and what you do are two totally different things.
Absolutely.
I believe in one thing. I will tell you. I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't believe in love. I believe in the I care for you factor. I deal with African teachers. African teachers don't deal in love. They deal in commitment. They deal in that thing called cheat. And that one thing that deals with where you have to go and keep going and going and going for whatever that you're doing. And there's an energy. And that's God-like. That is God. It's like you said something earlier about people forget about this right here. That I tell people that, look, I'm telling you something about me, Shalakemia. I don't do perfect, but I strive for perfection, because that is the gift that we all have. You're not perfect, but you're striving for perfection. So why would I tell you that my heart is love when it's muscle that pumps blood? What are you talking about? That's got something to do with your mental status, because a lot of people love people, still hurt them and kill. Let's just be honest.
I feel like that's true to a certain extent.
You come from, you say you're in Pennsylvania, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come on. You know for a fact what you don't saw. You know for a fact what you don't saw in the street and what people don't see.
Yeah.
It was like that. It's like, dang, how did they do that? I don't think it's how did they do it. I think it's more on the level of what were they thinking?
Right.
What if that other person would have known what that person was going to do, or even thought in a different process before that person did it? You know, that would change the difference in a lot of people lives.
Right. Let me respond to the perfection part. Right.
Please.
I think people are using that as a defense.
Yep.
And trying to say, oh, somebody's perfect. I've heard that 3 times. Yep. It's not, and I'm so exhausted from trying to explain to people I'm not perfect. I just know how to treat people. People. Shalakemia just knows how to treat a person. I feel like God is love. That's how I feel. I believe in love. I feel like God is love. I feel like if you don't know the love of God, you cannot love somebody else.
No, you can't.
That's how I feel. You see what I'm saying?
But you know you're telling the truth. That's not a feeling. That's African teaching. If you know this, can't nobody take it from you. Nobody.
Right.
no matter who it is.
That's how I feel. Like that's just it. I love God. I take my relationship with God serious. That's why I don't play with God. A lot of people play with God. I don't play with
Yep.
God. I don't go around mistreating people and hurting people and trying to scam people and I don't do that because I have to answer to God. Period, point blank. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I
And
do.
that's just how I live. That's how I live every single day. Every single day. I live like that.
You
And
ever been to Arizona?
and no, I haven't been to Arizona. I was supposed to go in December, but I didn't get to go. But I was supposed
Okay.
to.
Okay. I think you're gonna be visiting Arizona pretty soon.
Oh, okay.
She's like, oh, okay. I'm looking at your face on the screen.
Yeah, I love to travel. So, I'm always open to, traveling
There you go.
places.
Then you go smile in a bit. I'm like, okay, I
Yeah.
know it's coming.
Yeah, but yeah, I appreciate you calling in. I'm gonna wrap up the show though. And
Yeah, I know.
we'll
I know.
talk soon. We'll talk soon.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. All right.
Have a good
Okay,
day.
okay. We'll just speak with something. All right. Peace out.
Okay, bye-bye. I had one more person calling, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wrap up. I'm glad he called back in because I think that some people really needed that. I think we should definitely have these type of conversations in these spaces because we don't know everything as people. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like we should also have be able to have conversations with people where we are pouring into people, teaching people, correcting people. There's nothing wrong with correction, you know. And so people can be more accountable, for their actions because it makes you a better person. I tell people all the time, like if I'm doing something wrong, let me know what I'm doing wrong. I have no problem. Please do not be afraid. I have no problem being accountable for, or taking responsibility for something that I did. I have no problem. Accountability and taking responsibility helps me grow into a better woman. That's what I strive to do every single day, is to grow into a better woman and a better person. That's what I strive, to do. Does it irritate me sometimes when people are like, oh, you're perfect? And I'm just like, no, you just never had anyone that respects you. You never had, hold on, yo. This number called so many times. Hello, caller.
All right. You didn't wrap it up. You know I gotta be the last caller.
Well, you must got something of value to say because I was wrapping up and I seen you calling and I took your call.
I'm always trying to, what I was going. I said, oh shoot, this is live. Oh shoot, that's my girl. I gotta call her. Say what's up at least. You're looking like the finest cheerleader on the whole team right now.
Thank you so much. How you doing?
Well, I've been doing a lot of studying and stuff like that, and I've just been trying to, prepare myself to make my life better.
Right. That's the goal. That's the goal, to just get better every single day. Did you want to weigh in on what I was talking about?
You know what? I didn't. I just saw you was talking. I just wanted to call and, at least say, hi, what you talking about?
Okay. I was just right. I was, just, I made a video and I said that, my mother cannot, disrespect my man. I'm just not having that. And I kind of spiraled, off of that. And we were talking about, different things, about respect and accountability, and just setting boundaries and what we should allow, what we shouldn't allow. And also, protecting the blessings that God blessed you with. People are blessings as well. I don't believe in the mistreatment and the disrespect of, of a person. I don't believe in that. And also toxic family members and toxic moms, mother-in-law, children, all of that. We got to do better, because it's our happiness. It ain't nobody else's happiness. These people wouldn't allow you to come in their life and relationship and wreak havoc. They wouldn't do that. So can't nobody come over here and do that. And that's how I protect when I'm in a relationship. That's how I protect my man.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm supposed to reciprocate too,
Right.
So, I mean,
it goes both ways. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely so. That's what the Bible says.
It does. I don't think they read that part.
A lot of people, they're not in the scriptures. That's the reason why, I'm saying, it's one thing about, walking through life and stuff and going through things and knowing the reason why we're going through things. You know what I mean? But then there's when, why is this? Honey, you need to spend a little bit more time in the scriptures. You're going to see. I mean, we are gonna go through things. We gotta go. We gotta be tried by fire.
Right, absolutely. But I mean, you have a lot of people that just show up to church to say they showed up to church too. And they ain't worried about scripture. They're not worried about. I'm not sitting up here saying like, oh, I know every scripture. I don't. But I'm growing every day. I'm learning every day. I'm strengthening my relationship with God every single day, and that's where my wisdom comes from. I ask God to bless me with wisdom, and that's what He blessed me with.
Definitely. So that's Proverbs chapter 1 right there. What I mean? Talk about that. I think it's Psalms 111. Talk about wisdom and you know what I'm saying, and the fear of Yahweh, and just it's crazy though. It's like the topic that you're talking about, like people shouldn't really get into relationships until they understand what a relationship is. Just like people shouldn't engage in anything,
Right.
whether it's business or whether it's going to church even, or not going to church, or arguing with this person, or going around these people, or hanging out in that area, what I'm saying, taking your gift and throwing your pearls of swine.
Right.
It's all in the scriptures, you know what I'm saying? So as good people, you know what I mean? Like there is no such thing as a good person, because Christ said that there is no such thing as a good man. Why do you call me good? There's only one good, that's the Father. But if we know the command, we know how to treat each other,
Right.
because we know that Yahweh or God, He feels that way about us, returning, our works are basically keeping the command. And it says in Revelation chapter 14, about the 13th verse and 14th verse around there about, actually it talk about the men, but it's talking about, a selection of men that, have not defiled themselves, and their works follow them. A lot of people don't understand, like, our works are keeping the commands. So when you keep the commands and you be in the scriptures and you're working your works, and God is looking at you, and He's not worried about how you're going to treat the next person, because He already knows, so that He going to just put people in your life. And that's what I'm trying to come in the realization of, what I'm saying, the fact that, Yahweh, He put people in my life, and I have to strategically, it's not always about, oh, well, it's good to see you and stuff like that. Sometimes, He put people in your life to help you do things,
Yeah.
And when you're always a giver, always giving, it's hard to receive, isn't it?
It is. It's very hard to receive when you a giver. Yeah.
Yeah. I had to learn how to say thank you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's uncomfortable sometimes because you don't really, you're really never on that side. It's like you've been the head, you know what I mean? So it's like, and it's not like you're, the tail because you do that, but it's like you're most of the time you're in a head position, where everybody comes to you, where you're always dishing out. You really don't know how to receive sometimes. God's working on me with that. Sometimes I don't know how to allow people to be a blessing to me, so He's working on me with that. And I'm getting better with allowing people to, be able to bless me as well.
Yeah. I think that's how we find, our significant others. And,
yeah.
Then, it's like, life, I don't understand. I look around society and I just see nothing but, people inflicting pain on themselves, I mean, things happen in people's lives. I understand that. But when you have, the majority of society not even giving a damn about who lives next door to them, even when you live in an apartment and you can hear the conversations between the walls, and you still don't give a damn about your neighbor, regardless of who your neighbor is. I'm not even talking like, biblical definitions of neighbor and brother. I'm just talking about just your next door.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The next door to you. They leave, you know what I'm saying? My auntie and them, oh, well, the lady next door, she be having me watch her house when she's on vacation. Like, that seemed like it's, dying. I go water her flowers. I feed her cat and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you can't even trust your own relative to come into your crib. Like,
that's true.
It's just, a lot of people inflicting so much pain on each other, and it's really unnecessary. But we have to figure out where this comes from. What's the root of it?
But let me express to you, I've never understood that, because, and I'm not saying a person, oh, I've never hurt people. I've hurt people, and I've definitely had to ask for forgiveness for that. I definitely had to understand, like, why was I like that? I didn't know any better either, to be honest with you. But when I did, know better, I did better. And it's not me striving to be perfect. It's just like, I know pain. I grew up my whole childhood in pain. I just feel like I wanted to change my life. I don't wanna put nobody through no pain. I don't wanna sit up and hurt people. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's not what type of person that, I wanna be. But you have to understand, there's people out here that know pain and still put other people through pain. That's the scary thing
Yeah,
out there. You know pain. You've been through the things that you putting somebody else through. That's the
yeah,
scary part. It's that you don't even care. You don't even care. You know? Um it's a lot. Like, we have a lot of work, to do. And I'm definitely willing to, speak on the things that we need to have a conversation from, because people learn from conversations. We grow from conversations. We become better, by having conversations. And I feel like this is a very crucial time, because I'm gonna tell you like this: reaping what you've sown is coming around the corner quicker than you can blink
oh
these
man, yeah,
days.
tell me
You
about
know
it.
what I'm saying? Like, it's hitting you immediately now. And it's just like, I want people to make better choices. Try to be just better people. Nothing's wrong with that. Nothing's wrong with trying to be a better person. Nothing's wrong with unlearning things that you learned that were wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing. There's nothing wrong with treating people good. I think some people are uncomfortable, when they're being treated a certain type of way. Like, there's no drama, there's no negativities, there's nothing. It's like, this person just, it's too good to be true. No, this is how life should be.
Right. It is possible to have a good time every day.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. I totally agree with that. It's definitely possible. If people want it, people have to want it. You see what I'm saying? People, I don't think people realize they're throwing away good people. They're hurting good people. And you know what just kept dropping in my spirit for weeks is that there's people that are praying to God, right?
Hmm.
And they're waiting in the hallway for God to open that door on their behalf. But while they're in the hallway, you have to understand, God is testing your obedience.
Hmm.
God is watching to see if you're going to be faithful over the level that you are at. I
Hmm.
was just filming a video, and I was telling Black women there's so much jealousy and envy among us Black women. The jealous and envious Black women are trying to understand how other Black women are blessed and favored. And they don't understand that that could be them if you were faithful. That could be them if God could trust you. The jealous and envious people don't understand God can't trust you. So then they become jealous and envious because they see somebody else blessed. They see them with opportunities. They see them in rooms. They see them with wealth. They see them with all these different things, but they never do the work. They're not doing the work. Do the work so God can trust you too. God want to trust you in the hallway.
I dig that.
People doing people dirty in the hallway. They mistreating people in the hallway. How you pray and ask God to bless you, and you doing dirt on the way to, the door? That ain't how you do that. You can't be standing in line for your blessing and scamming people, using people, mistreating people, disrespecting people, and think when you get up there, God's supposed to bless you. That ain't
Right.
how that works. That's not how that works. You about to get what you gave all them people tenfold.
Yeah.
That's all. That's it.
That's
Your life might fall apart, to be honest with you. Because I'm gonna tell you something. If somebody told me the other day, they said, Shalakemia, you a chosen one. I never knew what a chosen one was. I don't refer to myself as a chosen one. I just do what God told me to do. You know what I mean? And this person was telling me, they was like, listen, if people mess with you, their life gonna fall apart. And when the person said that, right, y'all, I had two people within a 2-year period that came to me and told me their life fell apart. And when their life fell apart, what flashed in their mind was how they handled and treated me. And I'm like,
Yeah, you know.
wow. I told him, I said, I prayed for you. You see what I'm saying? I said I was hurt because I didn't understand why you did what you did, but I prayed for you.
That's loving your enemy.
I prayed for you. You know, that's all I know how to
That's
do. I don't know how to take vengeance in my own hands because God told me don't do that. You know, I don't know how to do all that. But recently, God told me you had all the cards to ruin somebody's life. You had all the cards to do this. But you didn't. That's where He tests us, though. That's where He tests
right.
our obedience, and that's how God know He can trust us. When you have all the cards to ruin somebody's life, you can ruin their life by a drop of a dime with all the information you know, everything, all the cards in your hands, and you did not do it. That's how God knows He can trust you. That's how He knows, and that's why God can trust me. Because I'm obedient, even when I'm hurt, even when I'm brokenhearted, even when I've been mistreated and disrespected, even after I just fed them, even after I just let them live with me, even after I just went hard for them and they hurt me and drug my name through the dirt and lied on me, I'm still obedient to God. And that's never going to change. Never going to change. I'm always going to be obedient to God.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, he said that in John chapter 14 and 15. That's what he's telling me. He's saying, if the world is the world. Like, everybody is not the good guy in anything. Obedience is definitely better than sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
And if you understand what and you are definitely chosen because, like, my uncle Robert, he was like the only prophet in our family for real, and we got a pretty big family. Everybody said that he was crazy and all this and all that. He crazy, but all he did was just read scripture and other books to interpret to his people. He tried to come and teach his people, but they drove him crazy. So you know what I'm saying? God will sometimes use you like He used His Son.
Mm-hmm.
And you would be risen with the same power that was given to His Son to rise. But it's not always literal, but it is literal because when you go, God will send you with somebody's life, and then you trying to, He's using you actually to make that person react in a jealous way to own just because that's the only way that He can humble that person for real. Because He don't want nobody to suffer. Some people got to be, remember the game, The King of the Hill?
Mm-hmm.
Some people got to be pulled off the top of the pedestal thinking they too much, more than what they are.
That's true. That's
And so,
true.
what I'm saying, hurt people. And then the most important thing is to teach the children not to act like this.
Yeah.
And,
And people
what I'm saying?
wonder why they're in the positions that they're in. People wonder why they're not blessed. People wonder why they keep, praying and asking God, for certain things and they're not blessed. That's why. And I'm seeing this among Black women because there's a high rate of jealousy and envy. But at the end of the day, a Black woman will look at another Black woman and hate because she's doing good, she's successful, these different things. But people, they don't even understand. God didn't put that Black woman in your life and in your view for you to be jealous of her. God put that, listen, younger or older, God put that woman in front of you for you to learn from. I don't care if that woman is 29 and you are 65. I have women in their 50s and their 60s all the time telling me, Shalakemia, I wish you was my friend. I wish you was my daughter-in-law. I wish back when I was growing up, you was around. I learned so much from you. I said, at the end of the day, you have to know when God is putting someone in your life or putting them in your view for you to learn from them. God didn't say, "Oh, be jealous of this person." No, look what I did for this person. Look where I have this person at. I want to do the same for you. But they don't even think that deep. And it's a shame because us as people could be further if we weren't threatened by another woman and her success. I had a friend tell me the other day, she said, Shalakemia, they're jealous because they see the light on you. She said, I see the light on you. I know they see the light. I
Yeah.
said, but it's not even nothing for nobody to be jealous of because you may see a light on me, but baby, I'm going to come in your life and I'm going to pour. I'm going to pour and I'm going to encourage you and I'm going to inspire you and I'm going to motivate you. But we will see a light on somebody. We will see favor. We will see somebody blessed. And And people will be jealous and envious of that. And I'm here to tell you right now, I don't know what black woman is listening to me, but God is not putting other black women in your path as friends, as daughter-in-laws, as sisters, as whatever. See, whatever. He's not putting them in your path for you to be jealous and envious. He's showing you what he want to do for you. He's showing you that woman and showing you what he did for her, and he want to do the same for you. But he got to be able to trust you. He can't. God can't trust somebody with a jealous and envious spirit in certain rooms with certain blessings at certain levels in the kingdom. That's not how it works.
Have you ever heard of this? Who was the first king of Israel? Do you know?
I don't know. Who?
The very first king of Israel. There was no king in Israel all through, Exodus and, all through Leviticus and Numbers and, even going into Judges for real. But then, so Saul, what I'm saying, he became the first king. And so Saul basically, God, he put a jealous spirit on Saul just so he could try to, because David was the man at the time. And David, he lived 14 years. David was on the run for 14 years, but God put that spirit to try to kill David on Saul because Saul was disobedient. So a lot of people, see, David the women even used to sing like, Saul kills 1,000, but David kills 10,000. Saul didn't like that, but it says very plainly that God put that spirit over him. And, Saul had a son. And I think it's Jeroboam. I think that's the name, Jeroboam, I do believe. And he would base. Oh no, it's Jonathan. I'm sorry, his name was Jonathan. And Jonathan would go and betray his father to tell David because everybody saw the light in David after God took the light off of Saul. When Samuel, it's in the book of Samuel. He went to look for the king. He had to go to the mountains to find Saul. Saul was head and shoulders above everybody. Light-skinned guy, a real good-looking dude, probably like Will Chamberlain, I would say, because he was from the tribe of Benjamin. And so, everybody loved him. The light was on him. You know what I mean? But then when God told him to, because Amalek is somebody that God he don't like. You remember when the children of Israel came from right when the Dead Sea, Red Sea split, and he killed the Egyptians. So the children of Israel on the other side, they singing songs and stuff like that. But immediately after that, they had to fight wars. A lot of people, they read through it and just go, through chapter 17 so quick. No, they fought wars. And one of the wars was Amalek. And Amaleks are the sons of, people. You can go to Genesis 26, Genesis 10, and you can start timelining. You can look and see. But see, when you do stuff like that, that's when you cut people off. And God wants you to cut people off. Because then he can come and see then the people that you did your tour around, kind of like how David was doing. David met his wives and a lot of things in that wilderness time, because everybody knew who David was, except this dude named Nabal. Nabal was a dude, he was a rich dude. They was living in his town. And basically they were fighting wars through his town, and Nabal had a lot of land and a lot of cattle and stuff like that. And David was like, look, he sent two of his dudes, like, man, go to the person who live right here and tell him we've been here for some months. We have not touched none of his sheep. We've protected his land. You know what I'm saying? We the baddest around. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the land knew David was the baddest around. So then two dudes went and they went to him, and he's like, David who? Hey, you don't know no daggone David. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, man, get off my land, basically. That's what he told him. I'm not going to get nothing. But in the meanwhile, he was having a party. He was throwing away he was having a lavish party, like a lot of food. And so his wife, Abigail, heard it. She's a Carmelite. I do believe she's a Judite. And so she knew about David. Just like, so she went and got some asses. So meanwhile, while she's getting her asses, and she's putting provender on there, she's putting all the food, all the bread and everything, all kind of oil, all kind of lamb, all kind of stuff she's putting on there that they didn't even need. He didn't even realize it was gone. So while she's doing that, the two dudes David's two men got back to David and told him what Nabal said. Now David, all right, well, I think he had 400 men, 300 men with him. So like, you know what? All right, well, you know what? Everybody, grab your swords and stuff like that. We're finna go kill this nigga. And everybody in the house, he said something like, they're gonna kill all the animals and everybody, won't be nobody alive to even piss on a tree.
Mm.
That's what David said. So then, as they're going, here Abigail comes. And now my Lord, please forgive me. Nabal, he's an old foolish man. He don't even know. He don't even read the scriptures.
Right.
You
Wow.
if you're not reading the scriptures, you don't know jack. Because I don't care what nobody say out here no more. I know that. I mean, I don't want to talk for like 3-4 hours, but I was doing a study tonight. I study every day, but this study tonight because of what's going on over there. And I would say Kosovo, but Ukraine. Well, right now, Iran got bombed by somebody. But who? There's a lot of crazy stuff going on with Iran, Russia, China, United States, Israel. So I don't want to get you Paige in trouble or nothing like that. But there's some stuff going on right now. You know what I'm saying? And
I want to go back. Hold on, I want to cut you off real quick. I want to go back to when you had said that Saul's son Jonathan, right?
Yeah, Saul's son Jonathan. Yeah.
David, you said that what did you say? He betrayed Saul.
He betrayed his own father to let him know. He would tell him every time, like, "Look, my dad's gonna try to kill you."
Yeah, but he didn't betray him. He didn't betray. He didn't betray Saul. He was being obedient.
You're what I'm saying? You're my son. Like you can't go. I don't give a damn what I say. You are my son. You're my son.
Okay.
But God put them two together. So
He put who together?
David and Jonathan. They were like soulmates.
What you mean soulmates?
Basically, like, David, like Jonathan would give David his cloak and walk and go, like, say David didn't have no clothes because David was out in the wilderness for a long time. Jonathan would go tell him, like, my dad's going to be over here. Don't be over here. He's going to try to kill you. Or my dad, he wants you to come because that spirit that God put over Saul would drive him crazy. So David would have to come play the harp and stuff for him. And then Saul would, God would put that spirit over and make him upset. He would try to kill him with a spear. So Jonathan would say, look, when you playing the harp, you know what I'm saying? My dad, he be going off. Make sure you get away because, you know what I'm saying? He's going to try to kill you. One time he threw the javelin at him and it hit David's clothes. He came out naked. Jonathan's like, here, take this.
You feel like Jonathan, you feel like he betrayed his father?
Well, I mean, it is betrayal. But like I said, it speaks into the life of a person like you. You know what I'm saying? You have the light on you. And sometimes, like I said earlier, God will go to a person and make y'all meet. And knowing that person, not need something from you, but you are, what that person needs to even make it through maybe another day without pissing somebody else off or doing something else wrong. And they're going to treat you a certain way because God put that spirit on them to do it just so he can humble them, so he can try to save them for real.
So let me ask you a question. I'm asking everybody, people in the comments, I want you to answer, and I'm asking you a question. So hypothetically, right? Hypothetically, somebody comes, so a person is sitting up and they are planning to get you fired from your job, right?
Right.
So the person's daughter, works there too. And the person that is trying to get you fired, their daughter works there. So their daughter is feeling like this ain't right. You see what I'm saying? Like this, it's not right. Yeah, that's my parent, but this ain't right. And then the daughter comes to you and they're like, hey, my dad is trying to like put a plan together to get you fired. When she comes to you, do you feel like, and I'm asking y'all too in the comments, do you feel like that the daughter betrayed her parent, or do you feel like the daughter did the right thing by what she felt was right because she felt like what her parent was doing was wrong? I want to know everybody's answers. I want to see where everybody's at, because when you told that story, that stuck out to me, and it was in my spirit that Jonathan didn't betray his father.
Well, when it comes to the conversation of them two being in the house and, they're having, conversation about it, yeah, you betrayed me. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you tell them that? I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. But then doing the right thing is a whole nother thing.
Right, but I'm saying, answer my question. Do you think the girl that comes to you, that her parent on your job is trying to get you fired, and she feels in her heart, and she's just like, this ain't right. Like, he shouldn't be trying to do that. Like, no. Do you feel like when she comes to you and she tells you that, my father, my mom is, trying to get you fired, watch yourself, or, do you feel like she betrayed her parent? Or do you feel like she was doing the right thing?
I mean, that's the dysfunctionality of characters in our lives, characters in the Bible.
No, can you just answer my question? Can you just answer
No,
my?
I don't feel like. I mean, yeah, I feel like it was a betrayal. Yes, when it comes
Okay,
to
so you feel like the daughter, you feel like she betrayed her parent by coming and telling you that her parent was trying to get you fired.
definitely so.
Oh
But
wow.
obedience better than sacrifice.
Oh wow.
That's what I mean. See, everybody is caught in a catch-22. So the thing is, now David is the next king, or you know what I'm saying? You are the next manager. That you're a nicer manager than my dad. I don't even really like my dad, and the fact that he treats such and such, he doesn't do this, or whatever it is, or they're just jealous of you because the managers like you, or whatever it is. That's the right thing to do because I just want you to be on your P's and Q's. Now, I'm not, what I'm saying, but I just want you to be on your P's and Q's and let you know they trying to get you fired for real. Who? Well, my dad's the manager and he had something wrong with it, but also David never told, and David never hurt Saul. He could have killed Saul a lot of times, but the one time Saul was using a bathroom in the cave. So it goes on everybody's part. Well, so God can come in and teach everybody the lesson that He wants to teach them. Because honestly, to tell you the truth, everybody ain't chosen. And it goes all the way back to you being chosen. Your light is so bright, like you can see that thing in the middle of a fog storm in the middle of the lake. Like you are like a lighthouse for real. That's why I'm attracted to you.
Mm-hmm. But
so,
you don't think you don't think that I don't feel like that's betrayal to me. And I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't feel like that's betrayal to me. It's not. That doesn't that's not betrayal.
You know what I mean? When you're sitting there talking and you're in the conversation, just like how me and you talking, and it's definitely gonna be something like if I was saying if I was your son, you're my mom, I'm pretty sure it's gonna make you feel some type of way that what I'm saying, because now that we're talking, but that's something that you can get over.
No, if I'm wrong, no. If I'm wrong, no. Even if it comes from my child can tell me I'm wrong. Even if it comes from my child. Because let me tell you something. And this is how I feel. I feel like right is right and wrong is wrong. And I feel like God will use anybody to tell the truth. I feel like He'll use anybody to tell the truth. If somebody's coming up against you, he's gonna send you a sign, right? He's gonna send you a warning, right? You can't dictate who that come from. Wrong is wrong. The person that's doing the wrongdoing shouldn't be doing the wrongdoing. And you wouldn't have to worry about somebody. God will use anybody to clear something up, clear somebody's name, tell the truth, warn you. That's why I don't believe that everything people say is betrayal. Everything is not betrayal. We can't view things like that. You just can't. God is a God. I mean, I don't know. It kind of surprises me from you because God is a God of truth. The truth is going to come out however it got to come out. Whoever, listen, it could be 10 people lined up, and God could have told Sarah, go tell the truth so you can clear my child's name. Or Sarah, go deliver this message so my child is aware of what's going on. And if Sarah's not obedient, then he's going to go to James. And James got a choice to be obedient or not. And then the next person, God is going to keep on going until somebody be obedient to what He said. But you don't get to dictate who is going to tell that truth. When you're wrong, you're wrong.
That's definitely true. Do you have a Bible next to you?
Yes.
If you go to 2 Kings, because Yahweh, he was dealing with a lot in 1st and 2nd Kings, but 2 Kings, I do believe 21 or 22. My internet, I do believe it's 21 or 20. I'm in the dark, so I'm trying to get on my computer. But I definitely and there's a king that's in place right now in this time in 2 Kings, and he's not really being obedient, kind of like Saul. And
they actually find this is when a lot of women, they try to use it as defense to think that they can teach men scripture, and they say, oh, there was a prophetess. Yeah, she's a prophetess, and this is the example that they're talking about. And she actually, the king don't want to talk to her because let me see. It's either first or second king. Let me see. Now it's probably first king. And so basically, he was like, don't go. Her name is Micaiah, I do believe. Micaiah. And he's like, yeah, don't go to Micaiah because she never prophesied to me smooth things. And so she tells him that, things are going to go kind of sour for him. And that God had actually said that he was going to go and act as a lion spirit to actually make the priests of Judah. Let me see. I'm looking for it right now. It might be Second Kings. I haven't came to the scripture in a long time. Like talking to you, actually, you always inspire me to do something I haven't done in a while. Let me go back to Second Kings. Let me see. I think it might be in Second Kings. Let me see.
I'm in Second Kings.
Let me see. Manasseh. That's Hezekiah. Hold on 1 second. Let me use my other hand. I'm gonna find it.
I don't see nothing about her in Second Kings.
Let me see. I'm gonna find it real quick. Let me type this in here. Let me see. I will go out as a lying spirit. You're gonna trip out when you see what God actually said.
Yeah, I need to know what scripture that is.
It's 1 Kings 22.
1 Kings 22.
Yes, 1 Kings. I always get 1st and 2nd Kings. Jezebel always gets me. So, you know what I'm saying? Because she was another one too. She was very wicked, and we're in the time of Jezebel. So 1 Kings 22. There we go. And so, let me see. Let's go down here.
And what?
Micaiah. Yeah, Micaiah is her name. You go down to like verse 15.
How you spell Micaiah?
Micaiah. Micaiah.
Okay.
And down in verse 15, the king said unto him, Micaiah, shall we go against you? He's asking her the question. And so she prophesies to him. Let me see down here in verse 19.
Are you referring to Micaiah as a woman?
Yeah, she's a woman.
And first Kings?
Out of the whole land in Judah. What'd you say?
Okay, I'm listening.
And out of the whole land of Judah, they went and got hurt. So in verse 18, she says, and the king of Israel under Jehoshaphat, did I not tell thee that he would prophesy no good? Actually, Micaiah was one, but it says he. I'm sorry. That he would prophesy no good concerning me, but evil. And he said, hear therefore the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all of the hosts of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. And the Lord said, who shall I persuade Ahab? Ahab, that's Jezebel's husband.
Right.
That he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead. And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. And then there came forth the spirit and stood before the Lord. Now, when you look this up in Hebrew right here, actually, you hear it's a word called ruach, R-U-A-C-H, which is the same spirit that God was using in creation in Genesis 1, when he said, let there be light. And then also it's pneuma, like when you catch pneumonia, but it's called pneuma, which is the breath of God. So in verse 21, this spirit that came forth is actually God himself.
Okay.
And he said, I will persuade him. And the Lord said to him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth and I will be a lion spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also, go forth and do so. And now, therefore, behold, the Lord had put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets. And the Lord has spoken evil concerning thee. And so sometimes, like I say, and going back to even the betrayal thing, like say if I was your son and, you know what I'm saying, it would be, if I know that you're doing wrong, there's another scripture here that you reminded me of. I think it's in Ezekiel chapter 14.
So hold on, because this touches on what I was just saying when I said that God will use anybody. And in First Kings, if you look in 22 and you go back and you look in 22 and 14, it says, and Micaiah said, as the Lord lives, whatever the Lord says to me, that I will speak. And that's why I was saying to you that God will use anybody to get his message out. God is a God about truth. You see what I'm saying? And
Right.
and that's just like when somebody lies on us. And I think people watching can attest to this. We don't like when people lie on us, right?
Right.
And sometimes we'll be in situations where, you know, it's a dangerous lie. You know what I mean? That could really affect our life. But what we have to also understand is that we have to stand on God's word, and we have to stand on faith that God is going to send somebody, or there's going to be a ram in the bush, and the truth is going to be told to set us free. And that's why I'm saying in these type of situations, you don't know who God will use to come and tell the truth to set you free, or to clear your name, or to save you from, you know, some type of havoc or situation. That's why I'm saying this. I'm glad you brought me here, because this right here, this is a prime example. You can't pick and choose. If God tell me, you know what I mean, to tell the truth about something against somebody that has lied, against something that's going on, I can't say no, God, that's my child. No, God, that's my parent. No, God, that's my brother. No, that I can't say no.
You're right.
I just that's not what I
Looking to
can't
them,
do.
they're worldly looking at you like, well, dang, they're under another spirit. So they're looking at you like you did betray me.
Yeah,
But at the
because
same
that's
time,
their mindset about betrayal. But betrayal is just used like people are using narcissists now. Betrayal is being used in the wrong context sometimes, because it don't be betrayal to the person it happened to. They might look at it as betrayal, but that person need to look at themselves, and they need to be like, well, why did I do this in the first place? Or that person need to be like, hold up, I was wrong. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what kind of mindset I have. I'm not gonna sit up and be like, Dad, you betrayed me. No, I'm gonna be like, I was wrong. I shouldn't even have did that.
right? That's what Saul could have did too. He could have repented.
Yeah, he could have been like, I shouldn't even have did that. You don't know, God could have been using Jonathan, you know, to save David.
You
Because
know,
Jonathan was available.
turn to Ezekiel chapter 14. And this goes along with everything too. This is just another example of basically what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't matter at the end of the day. Ezekiel chapter 14 and verse 14. It don't matter at the end of the day. That goes back to what we said in the beginning. What I think it was you said it, or you talk about obedience, and obedience is better than sacrifice. Just like you're saying about your husband. Just like you're saying, when you have a husband, the Bible says that you have to be obedient to what the Bible says as far as you protecting your husband and you protecting your wife, and no child and no mama and no daddy and nobody can come in between that. That's obedience.
Exactly. To
But God,
God.
let no man put asunder what God put together.
Exactly. Say that again.
Because
Say
you're
that
not a
again.
wicked woman.
Say that again.
Huh?
I said, say that again.
You're not. You're not a wicked woman. So therefore, you're not a gift for a wicked man. You are a gift for a man that's searching, that's you know what I'm saying, that knows about pain, that has the key to your life. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
you're made like you're what is that called? Not unique, but you're made special. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. Like that by him. Before the foundations of the whole world, before this world was even made, Shalakemia was going to be here. And she has a pure heart like the heart of God. And he is not going to give you to no evil, wicked man.
Right.
Just like Ezekiel chapter 14 and 14 says. Now, this is in this chapter right here, Yahweh was kind of upset at Judah. Now, this is Ezekiel. He was they're already in captivity when he starts in the first chapter. And God says it right here. Then even if these three men, now Noah, he was the man who had three children that replenished the whole world. Daniel was one of God's prophets. It took Daniel 21 days to pray though when he was there for God to even hear his prayer. And Daniel was one of God's men. And of course we know Job. Job is one of God's men. But if they were in this land that he was about to destroy both man and beast, they will only be able to answer for their own righteousness and only deliver themselves, not their sons, not their daughter, nothing.
And right here, I'm in Ezekiel 14 and 6. Therefore say to the house of Israel, thus says the Lord God, Repent, turn away from your idols, and turn your face away from all your abominations.
Yep. Yep.
And
And that
that
goes
go
along with treating your brother and treating your sister the right. That all those are abominations. What children of Israel at this time had gone off into idolatry. Idolatry was actually the first sin. That's what what happened in the garden. It was actually idolatry.
right.
That's the horrible thing. God don't like that. So but it still all goes to the same. We're not treating each other well. We're not loving each other. We're not
Right.
rooting for each other and trying to be there for each other.
Yeah, we gotta get better. I'm telling you, like these are the times, and I don't know if people take it serious or not, but these are the times that we need to be getting ourselves together. We need
Turn
to
one more place.
we
One
need to
more script. I got one more for you. Zechariah 13:8. I do believe. Zechariah 13.
Zechariah 13:8.
Yes. Zechariah
All right,
13 and
13:8. I love this Bible because it's very. I love this Bible because it breaks it. It like really breaks it down. I really like encourage people to get a good Bible, like a good. I have a few. I stole a Bible. I'm just being honest. I stole a Bible. But what you say 13 and what?
13:8. If you want
13
to
and
get
8.
context, you can start from, the first, verse, but
Yeah.
you can put that on your own if you like to. But the 8 is the focus. Because see, you're not being sent to the whole world, even though you're going in the world. You're only the whole world is witnessing you, but you're
Mm-hmm.
not sent to the whole world. You are only sent to affect the people that you affect.
Right.
And the people that you affect, those are the ones that, as you can see, as it will come to pass. This is Yahweh talk. As
Right.
it will come to pass that in the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein.
Yeah.
He's, he's talking about our people.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And so, some people just gonna have to realize either you're dealing with something that is keeping you from eternal life. I'm not gonna keep myself. I'm not gonna sit here and even engage in what you. I'm just gonna just like in Luke chapter 10, where Jesus Christ told them when he was sending them, Luke chapter 10 and 11, when he was sending them 2 by 2 to houses, and he said, "You go into the house. If they invite you in, then that's cool. Stay with them as long as you like. As
Right.
long as they let you." You know what I'm saying? But when they kick you out, they get nasty with you, and you
Mm-hmm.
take the dust off your shoulders and you turn and tell them that it would be better for Sodom and Gomorrah than for your house, because the Holy Spirit came nigh to you and you rejected it.
Exactly. And I mean that just goes to, what we were saying, but I don't really be trying to I just be trying to really bring, the word to people, and I guess it's a realistic standpoint, because to be honest with you, somebody told me they like, Shalakemia, like it's amazing what you do because people aren't reading the Bible, people are reading you. And a lot of people told me like, you know, um, they learn like a lot of scripture and they learn, like a lot of things off of my page and the things I talk about and the things I post and they wouldn't know. And I really feel like we just have a great responsibility. You know what I mean? And then I'm gonna tell you that responsibility, it might get lonely sometimes. You know what I mean? People might call you crazy, things like that. But at the end of the day, like when you know that, you doing what you're doing because of your place in the kingdom and your relationship with God, and you just want to, see our people do better, I feel like it's worth it. That's how I really feel about it. I feel like it's so worth it. But I love that you called in. Thank you so much. I do want to share one thing. I did just tell everybody that I stole the Bible, right? And I'm gonna be honest with you. This is a Bible, and I had got smart with this lady one time because I had lost this Bible. It's called a Woman of Color Study Bible, and it was my aunt's Bible. And I was at her house reading one time, and I just took it. And then I had told her I took it. I was like, I kind of stole your Bible, and she was like, No, it's fine, it's fine. But this is like a really good Bible for Black women to get. It's a woman study Bible. It's really really good. I had lost it one time, and I had went to a bookstore, and I was telling the lady, I was like, I'm looking for the Woman of Color Study Bible. Do y'all have it? And she laughed. I was like, what's funny? And I looked at her just like that. She
Right.
was like, oh, nothing. I said, no, but you laughed when I asked about the Woman of Color Bible. What I want to laugh too. What's going on?
I can see your face when you say that.
Yeah, she made me so mad. She made me mad. The Holy Spirit had to hold me back because I wanted to fight her. What we talking about?
What's funny?
You know, yeah, what's funny? Ain't nothing funny. I'm looking for this Bible because I love it. You know, it pours into me. I just want to encourage people, you know, to definitely get you a Bible that you understand because it will pour into your life. I also got these little cards from Dollar Tree. These little prayer cards. I might make my
Mhm.
own. I might make my own prayer cards for y'all too. All the scriptures that I read to encourage me, I might go ahead and make some prayer cards and ship them on to y'all. You know, but you know that's what I do to pour into me. You know, people want to know, you know, how I heal. You know how I be who I am. I'm always feeding myself knowledge. I'm always reading the word, learning new scriptures. You know, reading certain Bible stories that you know. I'm like, well, hold up, this is happening today. You know what I mean? Like, hold up, you know, but you know, that's what I do. But I appreciate you calling in. I'm gonna let these amazing people go. They've been on here with me for 2 hours and 30
And we be
minutes. I
talking like we
love
cousins
them.
and stuff like that.
I know, like we just, you know, but that's okay.
You know what? I'm gonna, you know, that's how God works.
Yeah.
Sure enough. So I love you, you know what I'm saying? And until the next time I see you, Shalakemia, just make sure that you take care of yourself. Don't be stressing out here about these folks. Because honestly, to tell you the truth, like when you there for somebody, you know, you're not always gonna be there because, you know, even Jesus Christ, even he went up when they tried to like worship him, you know what I'm saying? Like try to make him a king and all that. He wasn't trying to do that. So he went up by himself into the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, sometimes, you know, and then, you know, and he told them, he's like, when he was teaching them, you know, during the Passover, this is like John chapter 7, 8, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he telling them like, yo, I'm not going to be here and y'all going to look for me. They thought he was crazy. Oh, who's this nigga talking? This nigga only 33 years old. He's talking like he was back there with Elijah or something like that. He like, yeah. And Abraham, if Abraham would see this right now, he would even rejoice because before Abraham, I am. They tried to kill him when he said that. But the thing is he told him, I'm not going to be with you all the time.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. A lot of people, I don't know there's a lot of people who listen to these videos and stuff like that be trying to scoff and stuff like that. If there are any scoffers, you know, when you have a person like Shalakemia really trying to look out, she be trying to help people get grants and all kind of stuff. When, you know, you can't hurt no person like that. But when you do, you know what I'm saying, you're going to feel bad when that person now takes their, you know, their resource and might want to go and worship God themselves and disappear for a while because they got to recharge too. You're going to be feeling real bad if you treat somebody bad like that.
Yeah, that's confirmation. God put that in my spirit. The other day I was sitting here and you know I was just crying to God. I'm just like, God, just you know, I just don't be understanding stuff. And he's like, you know, they ain't gonna be satisfied until I move you. They ain't gonna be satisfied until they turn around. And you know, the reason that I put you in their life, you ain't there, and they got to go through what they got to go through by themselves. It's real life out here. It's real life, and people are playing. But I'm gonna tell you something. It's people's pride, their ego, their stubbornness. People don't know. I'm gonna just be real. People don't know what they have when they have me.
Yeah, sure enough.
And when
That
God
goes
tell
on.
me it's time to move and it's time to go, because people want to act a fool, I go.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
go. I go. I don't
Just
answer
like,
my phone
just
no
like Lisa,
more.
he didn't want to see Celie leave. He was like, I'm finna go with Shug. He was like, what? You leaving too? He ain't want her to leave. Oh, you're black? You ugly? Ain't nobody gonna love whatever. He was just saying that because he was hurt, because he really didn't want her to leave. And he treated her like crap that whole time.
Didn't
He was
appreciate her,
killing her.
treated her
When
like
he was by himself,
trash.
it was killing her.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's how a lot of people are gonna be. And what did she tell him? She said that she told him, ain't nothing gonna go good for you till you do right by me.
How about me?
That's what she told him. Ain't nothing. And ain't nothing went right for him. Nothing at
Nah.
all. But I love you. We gonna talk soon. We gonna talk soon, okay?
All right. Well,
Okay.
take care of yourself, honey.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I just thank y'all so much for tuning in with me. Mr. 6'7" ain't nobody better than I disrespect this queen. We love her. I love y'all too. Thank y'all for tuning in. This has been amazing night. I'm so glad I did this pop-up show. I'm so glad it's in my spirit to do it. Um, I want y'all to know that I'm bringing the show back on Tuesday nights. Yeah, Tuesday nights. Tuesday? We'll talk about. Yeah, I'm thinking Tuesday. I think I want to do Tuesday nights instead of Sundays. But we're gonna do Tuesday evenings. My talk show is gonna come back. I'll let y'all know the exact date. I'll drop the flyer and stuff like that. But I think these conversations definitely need to come back. You know, there's been some little hiccups, but it's okay. The time is now. I'm excited. I love this. I love that y'all called in. I love the whole thing, you know. But thank y'all for sitting here with me all this time. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all and have a great night. And I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.